The owl of the night. What groovy music he makes.
It's in Showman's Night Owl, Skilly-Boo-Bob, Whirling Show.
Disco, please see us all. Chicken dinner. Jack Oxen. Chicken dinner. Oh, this is insane. Okay. That's weird. Okay.
I'm so sleepy I can't seem to keep awake.
And now it's time for night owling with that fuzzy-faced friendly giant. And Shoma.
Oh! Yeah! Hello there, and welcome to the night show with Raph and Shoma. Ooh, spooky, for Halloween is here. Ooh, indeed.
This is previously recorded a month ago?
Welcome, Samuel Archive and Brayton Connor, to the old October show, which is happening now. Ooh.
Well, then why didn't you play the Night Halloween intro?
I can't find it.
Oh, previous rap is not very good at setting up things in advance.
But no, please enjoy the deviled eggs and pizza I ordered from the local deli. Ooh.
Deviled eggs? Is Satan's fruit?
Yes, what?
Satan's fruit? Satan's protein?
No, what would count as the devil's
deviled
fruit?
Eggs?
Deviled eggs. Okay, yeah,
Satan.
Yeah, but it's not the same as fruit. Oh, wait a minute, like potato? No, potatoes and beans don't count as fruits, do they? No, those are vegetables.
All depends how you look at it.
Yeah. All right,
you call a potato a vegetable?
Yeah, it doesn't have.
It's a grain.
It's what? Wait a minute. Hold on, my mind.
Potatoes are a grain, not a vegetable.
How does that work?
They're grains. It's a different group.
So it's like a giant seed instead of a root.
I think so, unless someone wants to prove me wrong.
Yeah, audience.
Which I dare you.
Yeah, to the 3 people watching right now. Tell us how does a freaking potato work?
How do potatoes work?
Yeah.
That's our question on the board for tonight.
Yeah, that's the big show tonight. So, in fact, that should be the title. How does potatoes work?
Yeah.
And we're going to have Lewis come aboard, but he's having a bit of technical difficulties right now. Okay, but he will be on shortly. Hello, Brayton. How are you doing?
Hello, Raph. Hello, hoes and harlots. I'm well. Are you excited for Thanksgiving?
Yes.
Or, I mean, Halloween?
Yeah.
Are we going to keep that ruse up?
Yes, it's Halloween, the night of ghouls and ghoulies. When Count Dracula decides to make a wholesome giant turkey for his friends Frankenstein and the creature from the Blue Lagoon. He's a monster who has very strange relationship feelings towards his sister.
It's getting weird, man.
Of course, it's the Blue Lagoon. That's the true terror.
Do you think that creature from the Black Lagoon could make a musical adaptation work in a movie of the musical specifically?
Probably. Hey, wait, speaking of...
Have you seen the Universal theme park Creature from the Black Lagoon musical?
I've seen enough of it from like extended documentaries. Yeah, that was
30 seconds is enough.
Yeah, 30 seconds. Because, like, what is it? What was it, like 30 minutes or something? Also, welcome aboard. Welcome from the void, Lewis. If you can hear us.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes.
Oh, awesome. Okay. I'm alive.
Yes, welcome. It's the very late. Shouldn't you be in bed by now? Halloween show.
Well, I'm happy to be here.
Hey, so go on.
I want to know more about that Creature of the Black Lagoon musical. So I didn't know about that. So fill me in on that.
Brayton, you're the musical man for some reason. Tell him.
I mean, I don't know that much about the production history, but all I know is that the Universal and one of their theme parks had in the past, I would have to believe it's been shut down, a briefly run but very expensive Creature from the Black Lagoon live stage rock musical with very elaborate creature makeup costuming, where he sang he sounded like Meatloaf. So if you imagine, which is what I imagine if the Gillman were to belt out a heart-stopping love ballad. But I've seen footage on the interwebs, and no, it's unpleasant and unneeded, but an obscurity worth preserving nonetheless.
Yeah, and not only that, but just the way it ends. I'm gonna spoil it, but it's well, on one hand, he turns gigantic because the explorers pour a bunch of like chemicals in the water.
Okay.
Turn him gay and then make him. Oh, that's the frog. That's the frog man that they do that to.
The Loveland Frog Man.
Yeah.
Does Roddy Piper come with a gun out of nowhere and try to hunt it down?
I guess so. and then it ends on like a really sour note where this redhead woman he's been fawning over throughout the whole thing, he ends up eating, and it's like, yeah.
Well, every time he opens his mouth, it's a sour note.
Yeah. You're not Little Shop of...
I've got gills and I'm green.
That's how he sounds.
Is there any underwater like sequences at all? Anything like that?
I think they put a blue filter on the light that they shine on the spotlight.
no.
Yeah, but they also have some of the, like, the Gillman and the actress actually swim in the air with strings, and from what little I saw, that part was impressive. But
Okay, so there's nothing like. Was it Riku Browning that was in the suit? I forget. I know there was two.
Ben Chapman was the one who was in the suit.
Okay, there you go.
Browning was the land. Yeah, I always found it amusing that you could see the bubbles coming from his head.
Yeah,
'cause that's where the air tube was.
mm-hmm.
Man just likes.
Well, maybe
made of
that's where.
bubbles.
Well, in universe, maybe that's where the creature's little extra anus goes. You know, dinosaurs.
Well,
No, he was just thinking in comic book form. Thought
Don't-
bubbles were appearing.
Okay.
don't give Universal ideas. Like, first of all,
We don't need any more.
yeah.
No, they don't know what to do with them.
The epic universe.
Oh no, is that fully dead now? Like, I know they were trying to push that. For a
No,
bit, but-
it's still going. They recently showed the animatronics of the Universal monsters, and I have to admit the animatronics look a lot better than what the concept art had to offer. It's like like it's true to the original while kind of tweaking it a little bit. Like the werewolf looks more like the Benicio del Toro werewolf, just a little less thick around the neck. So
I actually like the Wolfman. That was like one of the few that I actually like went to go see in theater and actually really enjoyed. It's a shame that like it didn't. I don't think it performed all as much as I think Universal wanted it to. Unfortunately.
mm-hmm. So, and speaking of monsters, we have Shay in the chat.
Wow. You always know how to ingratiate yourself to the audience.
hey, audience, you suckers, how you doing? No, seriously, we do love you, but yeah, it's like we've had this conversation. Like, I've been doing a lot of really successful streams on Twitch with a certain somebody who is in this chat. Guess who?
and when we get a new viewer, you're like, "Oh, hi there, so and so. I hope you're not a Russian sex spam bot."
Okay, to be fair, I never say sex, but everything else is true. So
Russian.
Hello, new viewer.
Prussian.
I hope you're not some filthy spam bot from Russia. But anyways,
Yep.
Okay, getting back to Shay, he says, Night Alley's stream, what a surprise. Hey, welcome, Lewis, because you were a big hit last time. A lot of people told me they really enjoyed you.
Well, thank you. I'm happy to be back. Thank you.
Yes, and we also have a new addition to all my streams, the pun alert. So if there's a pun,
Nice.
you know what.
This is replacing the rim shot machine because it's broken every time you use that.
Yeah, the rim shot machine always explodes. No, the rim shot machine is better when there's multiple... Oh, damn it, we have multiple guests.
You reminded me of that old Simpsons like gag or line where it was like, "We got more gongs than the breakdancing robot that broke down."
Indeed. So I like to
Good
think,
times.
yes, I like to think I'm the Richard Simmons bot and Lingo combined into one.
What about a pun gun? Every time someone makes a pun, they get shot in a vulnerable area.
Take that, knees.
We'll start. See, we start at the knees.
Right.
Oh,
And okay, so I'm going to read the comments very quickly. We got Ziza Draws has joined us, and he says, monster. Yes, indeed. Although let me introduce him properly. Oh, hello, Ziza Draws. I hope you're not a Russian spam bot.
You have to say the sex part.
Oh yeah, I hope you're not one of those sexy
Sex
spam
spam
bots.
bot. Sex spam bot.
Watch me go down in my town. And then go
comrade.
.com. And then Goji Shea says, the Gill Man to Julie Adams, I love you till the end of time. Oh, yes. Oh, wait. Roar on the monster. But yeah, Ziza draws a really...
do anything for Nemo.
I mean,
do that.
that
Bat out of hell. Yeah.
I mean, it sounds, it sounds hilariously bad, but the hilarious parts has me intrigued to the very least. Is there footage of this on YouTube?
Yeah, all over you. The entire thing used to be on YouTube. You can probably still find.
Yeah. There's some
elements.
really good documentaries about it. I would find it right now, but I don't like multitasking. It's my
Well,
show.
no,
but it
you're-
seems
you're
like
good.
a funny concept in the sense of like a 15-second Simpsons cutaway gag, like the Dr.
Sure,
Zayas musical.
yes,
but
I
when you have
agree.
to sit there for 2 hours and watch
It's 2 hours long.
with the intermission, I
I
believe.
thought it was only like 30 minutes.
Maybe it just drags on so long that it feels.
It feels like 2 hours.
That's right.
Yeah,
Wow.
no novelty musical should be over 2 hours long. So
Was this before the Beetlejuice, before the Beetlejuice event?
They
thing that
may
they
have
had?
replaced it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, the Beetlejuice thing isn't a permanent fixture there. I believe the Gill Man or whatever, the Creature from the Black Lagoon musical, wasn't just seasonally running for Halloween. I
no,
could be wrong about that.
It was supposed to be a permanent. It was from what I understand in the documentaries. It was supposed to be a semi-permanent
documentaries about
attraction. They gave it a lot of hoopla, but then it's like when it started playing, yeah, the reviews were really bad and nobody really liked the show. Period. So.
Wow, I can only imagine to be a fly on the wall hearing people go, "Boo! This stinks."
Either that or just like a quiet discontent, and they leave like softly.
Worse.
Yeah.
Oh,
This is so terrible. It's giving me all sorts of internal injuries.
It's did you just, oh my god.
I said discontent, not discontinence or whatever.
I can't help it. I'm old.
It's like the scene from Hardcore. You just have what was it like? Who was in Hardcore?
Oh, George C. Scott. Yeah.
Yeah,
turn it
George.
off.
Turn it
That's
off.
exactly that scene.
And now
Turn it
George C. Scott stars as Pauline Kael in The Creature from the Black Lagoon musical. Turn it off. Turn it off.
Can I just say, for the record, very quickly, I only recently saw Hardcore in full this year, and I
Oh, wow.
expected it to be a lot more hardcore than it was. I was
No.
I was
It's
okay
quite
with it.
tame.
It is really.
It's quite tame. I mean, you have to consider too, did Hardcore come before or after like the whole vigilante craze?
It was
like-
79, so I think that is before Death Proof and things like that. I don't know.
Because that has to it has to be capitalizing right after Scorsese makes a huge success with Taxi Driver. We start getting all these films coming out of the woodwork. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
To a couple of years. Taxi Driver was 76, so a few years after that.
okay,
It's a good movie. I was just expecting, a real plunge into darkness, into this underground adult sex world.
No, it's pretty tame. I say unfortunately. I mean, if you wanted a hardcore action and kind of gory, kind of sleazy film, it's
Yeah.
definitely not that. But
Right.
Peter Boyle makes up for it, so that's pretty good. I think Peter Boyle was in it.
Yes, yeah. He appears at first to be George C. Scott's ally, but then
Yeah.
things get,
Mm-hmm.
complicated.
Complicated. I've never seen Hardcore outside that one clip. So go on.
You haven't seen Hardcore, but you have seen Deep Throat.
No, I've never seen. And plus, it's one of
Make
those.
that a double feature.
No.
You'll laugh and you'll cry. At the same time,
Oh,
you'll
my
be
goodness.
confused.
See,
Yeah.
they replaced the Creature from the Black Lagoon musical with the hardcore musical, where it's the reanimated corpse of George C.
Oh,
Scott singing.
Turn it off.
Turn it off! I can't take it anymore.
Give me my gun.
And then George C. Scott entered the audience with the George C. Scott dancers, and they touched me. I'm Pauline Kael.
You may not like what you find.
Mr. Mistopheles.
Ouch, my groin.
When you really think about it, the 70s really was Peter Boyle's year. He was just in like everything. You couldn't get rid of him.
Okay, just to be clear, Peter
Yeah,
Boyle
you have
was.
to use ointment on that boil.
Yeah, he was young Frankenstein, wasn't he?
Yeah,
He was the demonic creature in Frankenstein.
Yeah, I forgot he played a wide variety of disturbed villains and characters, didn't he?
He's in a really awful, or like awfully disturbing, not awful, it is good, movie called Joe, which is like a political dark conspiracy thriller of the time.
Mhm.
I've
Oh.
heard of that movie. So is it good? Is it good?
Oh,
Is
it's
it
really
recommended?
good. It's really good. He did like that was you're absolutely correct. The 70s was his best work. So I do love him on Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah, no, it's funny because like
Yeah,
I
although
watched,
the last episode of Everybody Loves Raymond is weird when he shoots Raymond in the head and says, "I love you, son, but I had to put you out of your misery."
no, where's dinner?
Yeah.
He just goes immediately into dinner afterwards.
Oh my god, Dad, you shot me.
Why would you do that? Can I have some gum?
And the audience just laughs uproariously as he like sticks his finger in and out of the headshot.
And then like
Network TV used to be awesome. Whatever happened.
Yeah, what happened, man?
damn you, Laszlo Penaflex.
Okay, who is Laszlo Penaflix? Before we get back to talking about Peter Boyle's film career.
As far as I know, I don't know if Laszlo Panaflex is even a real person. I know there's an actual Panaflex person who was responsible for Panaflex film, but
Mhm.
Laszlo Panaflex is just one of those a throwaway gag from the. Again, I'm gonna do a lot of Simpsons gags tonight. I'm just in a Simpson kind of mood.
Okay,
But
okay.
it was a throwaway line that Troy McClure threw out where I think he was getting ready to propose to. I think it was Patty.
Mhm.
No, it was Selma. It was Selma. He was getting ready to propose to Selma, or he was announcing that they were gonna have a baby. And he's like, "Move over, Laszlo Penaflex," because I think he was just looking down at the stars, and like that was like the immediate star he was under or something. And it's such a bizarre name that it's just stuck in my head for over like 30 years.
Okay,
Move
yeah.
over,
Yeah.
Laszlo Penaflex.
Okay, I love esoteric humor references like that. Something the Simpsons used to do all the time.
Yeah,
but at the same
they're
time,
phenomenal at it.
that's like, you know. Granted, there's a lot of random stars on Hollywood Boulevard. It's like one time,
Right, of course.
when I used to take the train early in the morning and just hang around Hollywood early in the morning when barely anyone is there. I remember one
Right.
time I was taking the long way by foot to get to Amoeba Music, and out of nowhere there was Doug McClure's star, and I was like, oh,
Oh shit,
That's
that's actually pretty
weird.
cool.
yeah, I didn't even know he got a star. So
I didn't either. Like,
Yeah.
kudos to Doug McClure on that one. I didn't know that anybody in his. I didn't know there was a foundation of any, unless like this was during his time of being alive that he got that star. Because
probably because I don't think the ceremony.
He
was
died in the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think-
mid-90s.
I think it was safe to say that Doug was like, all right, I'm just gonna give my last hurrah and just buy myself a star before I go out. Who was it? Terrence Howard really ruined like that whole illusion for me that like there's this like grandiose thing behind it.
Mhm.
When
No,
Terrence
it's all a campaign. And you have to raise or fund money for it.
Yeah, after like, and I only like just recently discovered that when Terrence Howard was talking about it, so I was like, well, great, there goes the magic behind that. Thanks a lot
Yeah.
for killing Santa Claus for me.
Yeah. With that said, how much clout does Mr. Godzilla have to get his own star and the big hoopla back in 2004? I was there.
Well, what was being? Well, you got to imagine too. What movie was being promoted around that time?
Godzilla Final Wars. It was his 50th anniversary. So
Oh, then that makes absolute sense though.
okay, yeah, but it's like Toho
Yeah.
can afford that, and it's still there to this day, and it's in front of the Chinese man's theater. So
Hey man, you forget they made awesome video games. Well, awesome video game like Circus Caper. So all that Circus Caper money that they made on the NES over 30 years ago, they're like, now is our time.
Esoteric button go. No, we'll just give that for the
Oh
pun.
come on! You're gonna tell me nobody here has played Circus Caper but me, or
No,
let alone knows about Circus Caper?
It's just of all the deep cuts to take. But okay, getting back to Peter Boyle.
It's a great. I mean, just to end it, Circus Caper is a great game. If you can emulate it, I highly recommend it. It's a little hard, but I think it's worth it.
Right.
It's worth a play. But yeah, but yeah, how have you guys' weeks been? It's been a while since I've done this with you guys last time. So, how's everybody been as far as things going? Hopefully, well, I take it. Or
Brayton, our resident Peter Boyle from.
I'm very cold. I'm freezing. I'm shriveling. The icicles are growing in my nostrils. It's the wonderful time. I'm enjoying my side of the climate crisis.
Do we need to send you a heat miser to make you feel better?
That'd be great. Yeah, I need a heat blanket. I need one of those contraptions. I think we get officially down to the 20s starting Friday, so we're in that plummeting mood. Had our first bout of snow.
I think the heat miser is actually
another one. There's many versions of me. How the hell did that happen? I'm too much.
Don't look now. The heat miser's in your room.
Oh my god!
Maybe.
Hi there, it's me, the heat miser. I'm supposed to be all scary and stuff, but I'm voiced by a wiener.
Or should I do it all of Vincent Price, all of the Tingler? And don't look now, he's around you. Run, get out while you can.
Oh my god, his miniature clones touched me in the leg.
You know what's a funny video I stumbled across recently? Vincent Price talking about the origin of the hot dog.
Oh yes, part of my gourmet bouquet hot dogs.
It was just it really was just such a I mean he's done so many bizarre
well
things.
Before Egghead he was going to be Wiener Man on the show, but they decided against that Batman.
Hello Batman, how would you like to have a taste of my wiener?
I mean,
thus presented a problem to the FCC.
Yeah. You say that, but now I would love to see an interesting Vincent Price-esque kind of Condiment Man kind of character type of villain now. That would be really interesting.
Okay, so we'll get back to
I have you right where I want you trapped between my buns.
Again, it's kind of writes itself.
Yep.
Okay, joking
the pun bun.
Yeah, okay, so joking aside, who would be ideal casting for a 1966 version of the Condiment King?
I'm gonna stick to my guns and really say Vincent Price. I think he would be perfect for that. Like he's flamboyant enough and weird enough where like it would just be pleasant to see him then, and it would just be hilarious to see it like 30 years later.
Okay.
Yeah. I just see a ton of jokes coming. I mean, if he could pull off Egghead pretty well, I could see him do Condiment King. Again, I think the jokes really do write themselves with him in it.
Okay. Then...
Yeah, I would probably go with, just to not double up on, don't give him too many slices of the pie, I would probably say Hans Conried, because he was the actor who was never on the Batman 66 show, who seems like he would fit beautifully in the Batman 66 show.
You know what? That's really good. Yeah, I agree.
Yes, that's a good point. I love Hans Conried, and he could practically do any gold with anything. But with that said, I always thought he would be like, if you could get Hans Conried, he'd probably be like a really good Scarecrow. But then again, I forgot Patrick McGowan was alive at the same time.
Exactly. So. Just bring over Patrick McGowan to do.
Oh yeah, he'd be a very intense Scarecrow, but yeah, it wouldn't work out. So
Patrick McGowan would be a very intense anything.
Oh yeah, but no. So Brayton
never guest starred on Sesame Street.
Yes.
What?
Yeah, Brayton is freezing.
Right.
Okay, is it really that bad up there?
Yes, we're getting down to the 20s this weekend.
Yeah, that's really bad.
Yeah. I'm wondering if we will get sub-zero temperatures again this year. I make mention of it every winter when the topic comes up, but Iowa, these last couple of years, parts of Iowa where I'm at, the sort of northeast section, has been colder these last couple of years than some parts of the Antarctic.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Granted, the very warm parts of the Antarctic, but no, it has been like. Oh,
you mean the parts where the penguins are having nude bathing?
Yes, exactly right,
Okay.
with the luau dances and all.
Yes.
But no, it's like -20s here. Yeah, very
Oh
bad.
my god,
Mm.
that sounds. And I complain about the weather here. My god.
And
I
you have
know,
to
we
say the
had
very
light
Midwestern
rain.
thing of it's not the temperature, it's the wind chill that will get you. That's sort of the winter version of it's not the heat, it's the humidity.
Mhm.
Is that it's not the cold, it's the wind chill. That's the one that will take
Good
you right out.
lord.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So anyway, that's how I am.
Brayton, we wish you the best. And
Yeah,
Goji, yes.
please don't freeze to death.
Yeah, man.
I will build an igloo around my home and be safe.
Yeah, do igloos even work? Because I always used to have nightmares. I get
Okay, 2 questions for tonight then. How do potatoes work and do igloos even work?
Is that what I missed earlier? How
Yeah.
do potatoes work?
No, we started a show, and I mentioned we were discussing what would the devil's fruit be outside of devil's eggs, and I mentioned
Deviled eggs are really the devil's breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very delicious breakfast to have.
Yes, indeed. So it takes so long to make, though. But
That's I gotta get them from the supermarket and just like roll the dice that they just taste just as good, and usually they don't. So
mhm. But anyways, yeah, no. My when Brayton revealed that a potato is actually a gigantic mega grain, and I was like, no way. How does that work? It's supposed to be a root.
yeah, isn't it? Yeah, how
Yeah.
does that work?
Yeah,
so it's
man.
like it's a
Hold on.
mega.
I'm okay. I will accept defeat. According to Mr. Google, potatoes are indeed a vegetable.
That's okay.
But
You
a
might
root.
wonder why the National Potato Council needs to spend its time telling policymakers things they should already know. Okay, this is a very zesty article here. I don't know
I know.
why.
I thought that was just you opinionating.
Written
No,
by
no,
Pauline Kael.
They are nutritional powerhouses offering both affordability and flexibility as America's favorite vegetable. Well, hot damn.
Huh.
Vienna.
Interesting. I would never consider it to. I considered it more of a root than anything else, but
Yeah.
now we're calling it a
The root of
vegetable.
all
Okay.
evil.
Yeah, no, Brayton, don't feel too bad about it because nature is very weird, and what you think is related to one thing is completely unrelated to another. Like, what is it? Daddy longlegs are technically not spiders; they're
Yes,
cousins of
they're-
the scorpion family.
Yes, I've heard that. I've heard that too. I don't know how true that is, but yes, I've heard something. Yeah, I've heard something like spiders aren't spiders. Daddy longlegs aren't technically spiders. They're like I didn't know the scorpion part, but I've definitely heard that they're not related to spiders at all.
Yes, and with this special camera, let's take a look at a daddy longlegs in nature, and it's like Nicolas Cage, like going, "I'm all albino."
Oh my god, that is the only clip I've seen. I don't know if I've talked to you about it on air, Raph, but I know we've talked about it elsewhere. That's the only clip I've seen of that movie, and that's all I want to know about that movie is
Wait.
Nicolas Cage looks like he's doused in coke,
Mhm.
singing for no apparent reason out in the middle of the woods. It's
Yeah.
wonderful.
So-
Long legs.
Yes, it's a horror movie where he plays a Satanist, and supposedly his character used to be hot shit back in the 70s, but since then all the plastic surgery has turned him into a hideous-looking Phil Spector, living dead man. So.
My god. It's the Hollywood story.
Mhm.
The true Hollywood.
You sure it's just not the story of Phil Spector?
Yeah. Or the story of Nicolas Cage. He used to be hot shit back in the 90s. And
Mhm. Yeah, well, he's getting a live action.
then he was in that
Spider-Man show.
Rapture movie and The
Oh,
Wicker
that's-
Man and then all things.
Well, technically, does alien abduction count as a rapture?
Well, no, he's in that Left Behind or whatever was that
Oh my
real
God.
sad.
A zesty rapture.
Oh, okay.
It's a rapture with an explanation that makes sense.
Mhm. Shay says daddy long legs aren't considered spiders. Technically, I think it's because they don't spin webs. That's true.
That is true too.
Oh yeah, barnacles, for example, those are technically crabs. You know, they're just very hideous, stuck in their place inside their own little body houses. Crabs. But
So you're telling me that barnacles are edible then?
no, don't do it.
Well, I'm not, well, thank you for that concern. Not that I was going to. But when you say crab, my mind immediately goes to like I don't know. You're talking about something that's like edible to me.
Yeah, tonight at 11, Louis Calderon goes to the local pier and eats barnacle.
And then on an all new LA law.
Why would this man eat barnacles? I don't know. He's freaky. Yeah. That's the
Oh my
opening.
god. Oh Lord. No, but yeah, I didn't even know. So you're telling me so crabs are crustaceans, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yes, yes. Crustaceans are distant members of the spider family.
And that's how we bring it full circle, folks. Good night, everybody.
Hey, good night, ladies and gentlemen. This was the Crab Show. Spider.
Ending on a high note. No, because like again, like I am intrigued. Like if I will look up if there's a recipe now. Actually, if there's some sort of bizarre recipe on how to eat a barnacle.
Yeah, if it's done well, but I know there's some cultures that eat isopods, and those are just gigantic insects. So
Yeah, I mean, barnacle recipes. I am
okay.
quite.
Yeah, I love shrimp, but they are creepy little deaky weekies. So, oh my goodness.
I look up barnacle recipes and like something called a gooseneck barnacle with lemon pops up, and it looks terrifying. It looks like something. It looks like something that can easily like replace you if it wanted to. It just it looks foul. I mean, it's probably delicious. Like I wouldn't knock it unless I tried it. But
but I don't know. They say the same thing about haggis. You know, it's in theory it should be delicious, but it just looks like a brown bag filled with pus.
Yeah. No, I'll definitely give you that. Like I think as far as like eating bizarre things on my end goes, like as far as like eating bizarre frog legs, and I want to say,
oh, you had frog legs?
I've had frog's legs before, which are really good, and alligator. Alligator and frog's legs are probably like the two most bizarre things I've consumed so far. Alligator, I've eaten at Dick's Last Resort, so I want to say it technically doesn't count, just because it feels like you didn't go to an actual restaurant to eat proper gator, because eating it there was disgusting. It was like eating very gamey leather. Like it had such a stench to it. Like literally, like, you know, when you go thrifting and you're just like passing by the clothes, you happen to pass by purses, especially leather purses, they have that distinct smell.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It smells like that. Imagine eating that, and which like again, it's half edible, but then like if you're not about like pungent aromas, like if that's not really your thing, like gator might not be something you might be enticed to eat. But again, I don't really want to give it like a full opinion on it, because again, I ate it from like a tourist trap type of restaurant. You know what I mean? Like I don't feel like it's fair to criticize food that comes from that type of. It would be like criticizing food from like if I'm an alien and I'm eating McDonald's. Is that a fair assessment of what human food is?
No,
probably not. Right?
Yeah, and also if you're an alien,
maybe.
Yeah, and if you're an alien, you probably think, oh, the expensive price. This is definitely Earth food.
Yeah, it's like, how much? You guys eat this? Just give me a cigarette.
$18 for a single fry.
Just give me a pack of Marlboro. I'll eat that instead.
So, oh my god! But yeah, no, it's you gotta, like, first off, you gotta find the right place to cook these weird food animals. If not,
yes, absolutely.
Yeah, you'll just end up with something disgusting.
Yeah,
but yeah, no, it's the insides of a gator should be tasty. I don't know why this. I can understand the skin being so terrible, because you know there's.
Well, why don't you try eating one from the inside?
Okay, and I hop into the mouth of a giant alligator
just for science.
Yes, and I'm inside. Okay, so it cuts to me inside the alligator with, like, you know, like a Fantastic Voyage set. I'm with like an oversized knife and a fork. And it's like, okay, where to begin? Not so fast, young man. Hans Conried as Captain Hook. That's damn right. Now we're gonna eat.
I've waited so long for company.
We're gonna eat our way out, Mr. Conried.
I'm also hungry.
Yes. Oh my god!
Yeah.
You know, you're looking tasty now that you
wait. No,
do more Tim Curry. I don't know why I'm doing Tim Curry.
Yeah, you're definitely doing a lot better Hans Conried than me. So
blasted Peter Pan.
You have to really work at it.
Yeah.
I had frog legs. I'd wear corrective shoes.
Okay, so
thank you.
Ribbit. But no, seriously, how is frog
Wizard.
legs, you two? I've never tried it.
Brayton, do you want to go first?
I've never eaten my legs. No, I was just thinking of that joke that entire time you guys were speaking. I apologize.
Well, as delicious as that joke was, actual frog's legs, they're really good. I personally like them. I don't think I'd want to eat them again just because I've recently feel more empathetic to non-traditional animals as far as like wanting to eat them, if that makes any sense. Like I'm still okay with the concept of eating like what we've cultivated throughout hundreds of years of eating, but going out of my way to eat bizarre things now, like it's for a frog, I guess more because I see it more as a pet, where like something like a barnacle or a crab's not necessarily something I've had too much of a intimate like pet like relationship with. Like I feel like I can eat that easily more than I could probably a frog.
Yeah,
if that makes any
and plus
sense.
crabs are little bastards. You saw the one that stabbed people, right?
Oh yeah. Right, but but to go back to it, no, I they're really good though. If I had to compare it to a type of food, like chicken, like very like very soft, tender chicken, almost like borderline duck, like
Ooh,
tender.
duck.
Yeah.
Can I ask you, why does everybody say everything tastes like chicken?
Because
Where
the
does
best
where
foods
does that
taste
come
like
from?
chicken.
I think if I look,
We all relate it back to that.
right, and I think it comes down to if I had to like take a guess, I think it comes down to the way protein, the way chicken protein smells and tastes and bites has such a distinct taste over like beef protein. Because I mean, you obviously know the difference. You'll know obviously the difference between like a bite of chicken and a bite of beef.
Yeah.
Chicken, I've noticed this with frogs' legs, and it could be because maybe, and again, frogs jump really high, so there's probably not a lot of fat. There's a lot of muscle in their legs, right? So I think the correlation between chicken and frog, it tastes like chicken, for example, becomes a thing, is because people are correlating chicken breast with other types of foods that are probably rich in protein, especially muscle protein. So your brain immediately goes to that because it correlates to like the first thing that is similar to that. And I think when they say chicken, they're specifically meaning something like a chicken breast or possibly or a chicken tenderloin, things that are pretty much that have like a lot of muscle to it. But if you look at like the chicken that we eat, a lot of it is muscle oriented, and it has like, they all have their distinct smells and flavors. Chicken in general, I've noticed, eggs too, eggs and chicken kind of have like almost, well, I mean, again, they're the same thing, but like they have like a similar type of protein smell to them, where beef has a distinct protein smell. Gator definitely doesn't have like a beef kind of, at least what I ate, which was called gator balls, which I'm assuming probably was like, who knows, maybe the tenderloin of the alligator, or maybe the breast. I don't know, because like I said, it was very like gamey. It was very hard to eat. So possibly it was quite possibly like something very muscular of the gator that I was eating. Because like I said, it was probably the cheapest part to like of the cut of the gator to make. And then they fry it too, and that's the crazier part. Even after frying it, it still has that smell, and it makes me wonder if frying it is what releases that odor even more into the food. Who knows? Because I've only eaten it fried, and really, like, I mean, I don't really have that crazy of a desire to go out and eat it again, unless for whatever reason I'm out somewhere and it's just like, well, I might as well because I'm here. But to seek it, like to go on an adventure, to say like I'm gonna drive to Florida and go take a bite out of an alligator, probably not.
Please don't bite me, Mr. Lois. I'm just living my best life here. Oh my God, my tail.
Tough titties, pal.
Meanwhile, inside the gator, me and Hans Conrad, it's like, I hear someone trying to rescue us.
It's like, get over here, you boy. So I try to pin him.
Yeah.
I got his arm behind his back.
Okay, so
Get off, you guys!
Usually it's just the Florida residents that act like that. No one from out of state. You're gonna be a no.
Then I'll fit right in. Oh no, I don't think I want to do that. Never mind.
Okay, I'm gonna read some quick comments quickly because I'm terrible with my audience. Zyza draws in reference to the Creature from the Black Lagoon musical. He goes, Zoidberg, your music is bad and you should feel bad too. And then Goji says, so basically Brayton is the image of Jack Nicholson frozen in The Shining. Yes.
That's right. All work and all
Yeah.
that.
And then Goji Shea says, yeah, I live in Illinois. Oh, that word always confuses me.
Illinois.
Illinois. Yeah, I keep forgetting the S is silent, and we'll be getting some freezing weather soon too. So, and then
Yes.
and lastly, this is a question I might tie back to you, Brayton. Is that one of your
Yeah.
family's cats you're drawing?
Oh, this is a drawing I did for my special someone of their kitty. So if they're watching, don't look, but it's their Christmas.
Okay. Well,
Aw.
that's okay.
Wrapped
I'm a very
in
unpopular channel now, so no one's watching.
Well, yeah, since you blacklist your audience,
Still?
the room.
You're all sexy spam bots, damn it.
Dad, I told you I'm a vegetarian. Still, you're not gonna like this gift I got you. Then it's like a whole roasted chicken, like Christmas wrapped.
Covered in bacon. So yeah, it's like I've heard. Okay, so speaking of weird animal food, so you've had alligator. I've shared the duck feet story on several occasions.
Well, I haven't heard it, so sorry, audience. I have to hear the story now.
Okay,
Duck
so
feet. Ooh.
yeah, so back in the good old days when Californian transit used to be fun, I used to take the Metro Rail all the time on weekday mornings, and I would just visit random places. I remember I used to hang around Chinatown a lot, mostly for the babes.
Forget it, Raph.
Yeah, okay, no, I'm joking. Calm down. Relax.
No, forget it. It's Chinatown.
It's not going to be one of my sexual conquest stories, Brayton.
I was referencing Chinatown.
Oh, China. Oh,
What'd you do there in Chinatown, Raph? As little as possible. Have you seen Chinatown? Can we do that for the movie Graveyard Shift?
sure. Well, yeah, we got to do that then.
All right.
Okay, so I went to Chinatown. But no. I haven't been to Chinatown in ages. So for all I know, it's been horribly gentrified recently. So a lot of the mom and pop shops probably no longer exist there. But I would be interested to go down and see how bad it's gotten for myself. But yeah, I found this one.
There's big trouble there.
Huh?
There's big trouble there.
Oh
some
yeah.
say.
But you leave Jack Burton alone.
I was waiting for either a Chinatown joke or a Big Trouble in Little China.
I tried to
joke,
combine them.
and I'm happy I got both.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But you
Like,
leave
go
Jack
on.
Burton alone. He was a good man, and we all owe him a big favor, even though he technically didn't do anything. We just have to rile in the normal audience to enjoy this movie. Okay, but no, I found this.
Is James Wong dead?
Yeah, huh?
Is James Wong dead or Hong?
No, he's
No,
still...
he's not. No, he was.
No,
in,
James Hong's still alive.
Yeah, let's not
Yeah,
jinx
that's
it.
right.
He's in his 90s now.
It was like in
so-
Kung Fu Panda 7 or
Exactly
9.
right. Yeah, he was in Everything Everywhere Sometimes Never. That's it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got to sleep.
Yeah, let's hope Mr. James Wong don't die, because every time we talk about a celebrity, they end up dying. So.
Yeah, but no. See, I mentioned
Whoa.
I asked, is he dead, and you said no. So I think that will offset our odd.
Yeah.
conflict
Yeah.
that we
Okay.
have.
So let me finish the duck feet story, and then we'll go on to the night owl.
Then we'll
curse.
wish death on celebrities.
Yeah. Okay. So I found this one really cool Chinese restaurant that was like open early in the morning. It had like a wide variety of different foods I never saw, and it's like it was like less than $3 for a whole container. So it's like, oh, cool. What's that interesting looking gray meat over there? I thought it was going to be beef. So yes, I'll take some of that. So I went to like kind of a courtyard, which had some other restaurants there that now I regret not eating at. And I opened it up, and I was so excited to try my food. And there was the noodles, there was the golden, the orange chicken, and then there was the gray meat. And it's on closer inspection. Holy crap! It was honest to goodness duck feet.
Holy shit!
So
Like with the web toes and everything, duck feet.
Yes, and it was
Oh,
it was cooked and
wow.
fried in such a way. It was gray, but it wasn't disgusting looking.
Was it congealed in any way?
It was a little congealed, yes. But
Huh.
I tried it. It wasn't bad, but it was very, very bony. So,
Okay.
Yeah, so it wasn't bad, but no.
Were you unsettled at the sight at all of it, or anything like that, or?
I took a chance, so it wasn't that bad.
Okay.
Oh my god! But yeah, that was interesting. I hope that restaurant is still there, because it'd be cool to go there and try what other wacky stuff you can find.
You get another duck foot again.
I know. It's like, what is it? I discovered this really cool mom and pop Asian market that's in walking distance where I'm at. You probably know it's not the Saigon market, but it's on the opposite side of the Saigon market. And it's funny because me and my mom went in there. They got vegetables for a good price, tons of like oddball foods that you can't find anywhere else, including the Koipi Japanese mayonnaise for relatively cheap, so I don't have to go all the way down to Gardena for it.
What makes it Japanese mayonnaise?
I don't.
You're gonna love this part. It tastes like chicken.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
that's better than tasting like Japanese man ass.
speak for yourself.
That's the distinguishing feature.
By the way, tonight's special guest star is Hitomi Tanaka's older brother, Hiro Taniki.
So we have three options for the title of tonight's stream. How does potatoes work? Japanese man ass and something else.
Okay.
But if I can with the Kewpie mail specifically, like Kewpie mail like really has like again, this is what I mean by like chicken protein. Like I don't know like what kind, like I don't know if they add a specific salt to it or type of fat to it, or like I don't know how if they're rendering it specifically, but you taste it, right? Like you taste a chickeny kind of taste to it, Raph, or am I crazy?
No, Koipi, me and my family, we fell in love with Koipi mayonnaise this year, so we've been using it a lot. It's
amazing.
Yeah. Okay, so it's good, you know. Yeah, it does have a bit of a chicken cream taste to it, like
right?
chicken cream soup, but also I think it has a little bit of a radish kick to it, like horseradish cream.
Slightly, it has a slight hint of like of horseradish in there. You can't taste any spice, of course, but you definitely feel that like would you call it like what, an earthy kind of taste to it? Like it's definitely there. Yeah. It's definitely there. It's very hint like. Actually, I didn't even realize that till now. You're right. It just has like it tastes like, if I had to be blunt, it tastes like meat. It tastes more like meat than anything, but it's unusual because again, it's eggs, which isn't necessarily a meat, but there you are.
I think like a creamy soup in mayonnaise form is probably the best way to describe it, and yet it works beautifully.
It's amazing.
Yes, it has a much sweeter taste than regular mayonnaise, I have to admit.
The National Potato Council says that mayonnaise is a vegetable, and that Congress needs to shut the fuck up. And whatever this zesty article says.
Those potatoes guys got to you too, huh?
Big potato is after us.
Ring, ring, ring. Brayton, it's for you. Hello, Brayton, it's me.
I'm Big Potato.
Oh my god!
See, that's what I think of whenever someone says like big business or big pharma or whatever. I just think it's
big
their head
potato.
honcho.
I'm very excited about how you're treating me and the rest of the potato kind in this company.
It's like, how did you know I was here? We have eyes everywhere.
Because they do have eyes. Oh my god.
But I need you to find me Han Solo. He owes me potato money.
Raph, can you dub Jabba the Hutt?
Sure thing.
Okay. Tater the Hutt.
Oh my god. But yeah, okay, so but no, getting back to the Asian market nearby.
Potato the Hutt ate himself to death.
Oh, I'm so delicious. My question, being the weird pedantic kid I was watching Spaceballs, my big question is, how the hell does a robot enjoy pizza?
You know what? You're right.
Yeah,
I never thought of that.
Yeah.
Oh my god! What is it? Oh my god! So you're delicious.
Okay, but no. Okay, so this Asian market.
Take out for you.
The rest of the podcast will just be about Spaceballs.
Raph, I think you and I could easily cosplay those two characters. You got to really commit to the part, though.
Really, I see myself more as a Colonel Sanders.
Okay. Because you taste like chicken?
No, because I am chicken.
I thought you were a big turkey.
Oh.
Raph, ring, ring, ring. Big turkey's calling.
Oh, no.
Hello?
Well, hi there. Don't eat me on Thanksgiving. Big turkey, you're done nuts.
And you're the worst mayor in Disney history.
Oh, no.
Okay, but no, getting back to this Asian market, for the most part, the food's all pretty normal. But then my mom was like going through the freezer. It's like, oh, what is this interesting little piece of meat wrapped up in a? And it's frozen gerbil.
Oh, I know where you went.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You went to the Peruvian / Asian market.
Yes. Okay.
That's what.
Yeah, I
Yes.
got it. Yeah, you and me got to take a video there. So let's go there.
I know exactly where you went. Okay.
Yeah, but no, here's the thing. One of my
Oh.
favorite TV shows is
You're
Bizarre
just
Food.
discovering. Oh, I'm sorry. You're just discovering that place. That place has been there forever, man.
I know, and I just walked in there one day because I wanted cheap potatoes, and they had cheap potatoes, and I've been going there ever since for at least 3 months now.
Oh,
But
no kidding.
yeah, but no, I did recently discover it. Bite me, Vaughn's. Actually, no, there's a lot of nice people I know at Vaughn's, and they know me.
Right. No, I mean, yeah, I know the Vons you're talking about. It's very nice Vons.
Yes, but no. Just here's the thing. One of my favorite shoes was one of my not favorite shoes. One of my favorite shows.
You have a very nice shoe.
I have to say it. Really big shoe.
Ring. Hello, Elsa's Bug Show. I'm very excited that you are advertising the edibleness of our leather soles. Thank you, Big Shoe. I don't remember.
We've got a big Vaughn's on line 3 too, Raph. It's Vince Vaughn.
Oh man, hi, Mr. Vaughn.
He's just a
You know,
giant.
why did I have to be in Fred Claus? Is my question. I don't understand.
You used
my-
to be somebody.
Oh, I've only made 10 minutes into that film. It is such a clusterfuck of a film to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, but no, yeah, this Asian market's pretty cool. One of my favorite
Claus
shows.
is no good.
Yeah, one of my favorite shows was Bizarre Foods with
That's why he's
Andrew
the hated brother.
Zimmerman. At least the first few seasons. And when he went to Peru, yeah, they eat gerbils over there, or guinea pigs.
Guinea
What's the bigger
Yeah,
one?
they eat guinea pigs.
Yeah, it's guinea pigs. Yeah, so and it's
Yeah.
like it looks disgusting because you're eating a giant rodent, but
Yeah.
at the same time, if it's done well, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, look, if you chop it up and you serve it like on a plate with some rice and some vegetables, who's to say how atrocious it looks if you're really eating it, right? But
Yeah.
I think when you're eating it comically, like as a whole, yeah, of course it's gonna look disgusting because it's hard to disassociate that it's a pet for Americans really,
Mhm.
but outside of America, it's a delicacy for everybody else. So
Yeah, exactly. And when you think about it, it's like there's certain foods in America that are considered weird. It's like, technically shrimp aren't kosher animals.
we see how you eat le McRib. Disgusting.
Oh no, it's Big Frenchie.
What is this, a fluffernutter?
Movie, I am his assistant. I am Little Frenchie.
I am how you say, get this shit out of my face.
By the way, on the next episode of the movie Graveyard Ship, Triplets of Bearville, magnifique.
It's like I don't know why the French are just so like why they have such a hatred for fluffernutters and McRibs. I feel like they're missing out personally, but hey, that's just me.
Maybe they got like a better version of the McRib that they're it's like the Godzilla '98 film. It's like our coffee is inferior, our McRibs are inferior.
You know what? I wouldn't put it past it. I first of all, I love food. I love bizarre food even more.
Mhm.
Not so much. I mean, again, not so much when it comes to eating animal bizarre food. When I mean bizarre food as of late, I mean like, oh, check out like what McDonald's got in Japan. Look at what weird, what cool food, what cool ice cream they're making. Like tame bizarre foods as far as things go. Not a big fan of like watching an octopus be burned alive or whatever for mild.
That's a little too much when you see the animals actually being burned alive in front of you. Yeah, I understand the freshness, but it's just a little.
Yeah, that's why honestly, like, I can't like. Look, I do door dashing, and if there's one thing I don't find. Oh, and I have such a sad not to bring the mood down. Maybe I'll save this for another time. But this one's not too much of a mood down bringer. But I'm not like I said, I'm not a big. Again, you just brought up like burning things or like hurting things in order for it to be fresh or whatever.
Mhm.
Boiling lobster. Sometimes I'm obligated to go pick up Red Lobster orders, and nothing drives me crazier than watching those poor things in like those in their little aquarium thing. And I'm just like, damn it, man. Like, can I just get my order and leave? I really don't like looking at this thing dancing around in here.
Yeah.
Those were my favorite things at Walmart back in the day. They would just display their
They're lobsters.
Oh yeah. I remember. Yeah, it's like, oh my god, like,
And they wouldn't kill them there, I don't think.
No,
You'd have
I
to
would-
take them home.
Yeah, you'd have to do it yourself. And
Yeah.
Yeah,
Imagine
like Homer
transporting
Simpson.
a lobster through Walmart, though. What an odd.
so you're saying in Iowa in a Walmart they used to have captive lobsters, like, to like, well, yeah, that would make sense.
Right
like
in the
you would
deli
go-
in the big tank.
yeah.
Yeah, just,
Mhm.
just slumped over, piled on top of each other,
You know what?
gasping for release.
Maybe if I grew up in the East or like in the Midwest, maybe I would have like a harder, like a stronger heart to like witness those kind of things. But I just can't. Like I honestly lose my mind. Like when, not lose my mind, but I do feel like a genuine empathy. Like when one of my cocoons dies, like in my garden, I'm just like, damn it, man. Like the other, like a couple weeks ago, I get so many tortoiseshell butterflies because there's like my neighbor's vines are so wild that they've just decided to manifest destiny all the way to my house. and I used to cut them down, but now I'm just like, you know what, screw it. Like I like the foliage. And even more so, I love that, like, by my garage windows, whenever like I'm working in my studio, I get to see a ton of caterpillars just pupate. It's literally like my own Nat Geo outside my window. But recently I was watching one migrate, and me, playing God, unfortunately, I was like, I'm gonna see if I could save this one, because he looks like he might get eaten by a spider. Sure enough, he did, and I watched it happen too. Because again, you can't really, like a documentarian, you can't necessarily interfere with nature.
Yeah.
Bugs are gonna do what they do. It was fascinating, depressing, interesting, and educational all at once.
Yeah.
And I was like, never again. I was like, you know what? I'm never interfering again. I'm just gonna let nature do what it does.
Yeah, it got especially disturbing when it's like the minute you went to go help the caterpillar, the spider just grabbed 8 guns, and it's like,
I wish
got the caterpillar.
I wish it was that comical. It is one of the most, honestly, for something so small, it was very brutal. But at the same time, it kind of becomes comical when you kind of just accept like basic science and you understand that, like, because to be fair, like when the spider got to this caterpillar, it was post pupation, like it just cocooned. That's the shit. That's the shitty part. I literally watched this caterpillar get ready to cocoon. I watched it like from beginning to end. I was like, you know what? America's not eating right now. I'm watching this instead. And I watched it for 2 hours straight. And I was like, this is the craziest thing I'll ever witness. This is my own like 10-speed YouTube video come to life. And then as I come back, this spider, like, I'm like, what is that black? Oh, a spider got him. And this fucker must have had the feast of his life because he was there for hours. He was there for hours. And if he could say anything, he'd be like, hey, what's up? This is your buddy, right? We're just like, yeah. I mean, he was.
Alternatively,
he's in your stomach now.
Yeah, alternatively, the spider would have said, tastes like chicken.
Gooey chicken at that, because again, like once they cocoon, they liquefy in there. So he metamorphized at least into some into goo.
Ooh.
So yeah, I mean, again, like he's just liquefied at that point. I don't think
It's the circle of life, Raph. Don't say it you. We all become one with the primordial ooze back.
Well,
I didn't expect it to be even like an even weirder version of the movies that try to rip off not David Lynch, David Cronenberg.
Yeah. It felt Cronenberg-y watching him because it's just crazy, dude. I'm watching this little dude just like cough up. It's like Mothra. It's like watching Mothra just like cocoon itself, except like tinier. And you come back and you're like, oh, Mothra got gobbled up. That kind of sucks.
Yeah.
And
I thought Kumanga and Mothra were friends after the whole Destroy All Monsters incident.
Well, these two didn't get that memo, clearly.
Oh man.
But no, I mean, I've seen so many insects are just I've re-fallen in love with insects again in my adulthood. As a child, like, I mean, there's like that passive love for insects and dinosaurs and stuff, but as an adult, I'm like, no, I have like a deeper love for these like little dudes now, primarily because, like I said, I don't know if I brought this up last time, but I just love gardening. Like that's just like kind of like my my pastime kind of like what I draw.
No, I just
and that
the image of you just like gardening with like the big mittens and the big hat and like a bunch of like cartoon insects dancing around.
and then I turn around, it's a bunch of spiders just eating them. I'm like, what the hell? No,
Not Mr. Wasp. Avenge me, boy. Avenge me.
there's blood on your hands, Lewis. And I'm like, no. For the love of God, take me. I'll cocoon instead.
Cut to like a daddy long legs, like, I'm technically a spider.
Get the hell away from me. I push it away. You're not in this scene.
A miniature Nicolas Cage is dancing with the other spiders.
Oh my god. No, but I mean, again, like you just see so many, like, you see heartbreaking things, you see heartwarming things. Like the other day, I finally saw like a cocoon actually like come out. Like I saw a butterfly, like, and that's even crazier because again, they spend hours. Like I'm like, what's it doing? Is it dying? Like like is it stillborn? Like I don't know anything about this, so I look it up, and then I'm learning. So like when they come out, they drop like a red fluid. Which I was like, since when the hell do they bleed? So again, like I'm like, is the rapture happening? Like, what's going on here? But no, they drop
miraculous ladybug.
bleed. Oh no, no, but yeah, like they drop a red fluid. They hang out on their cocoon for 2 hours. What they're doing is like they're pumping fluid into their wings, so they're getting ready to take off. And I'm just like, well. So again, like it's something I didn't learn that I had to learn that day, and I'm like, well, I can't really be here for this either. So if you get gobbled up, dude, it's your own damn fault.
Yeah,
take it up with nature at that point.
I know. So so just a quick note to you, Lewis, and everyone else.
Sure.
Okay, so I personally respect insects immensely. But they are at times they can get a little on the freaky deaky side.
Yeah, no, they can be rather intrusive. I agree.
Yes. Oh, intrusive, but also kind of freaky deaky. But at the same time, like Brayton, are you doing okay? Because I know
intrusive, but also absolute freaks. I mean, I do mean freaky deaky. They're freaky.
No, yeah, I mean potato bugs. I'm not gonna kiss one of the lips or anything like that anytime soon.
Oh my god. So yeah. Yeah, I don't.
Big potato bug is calling.
I need you. Okay, I need you to take out big potato.
Oh no!
Why does your big potato bug sound like Harvey Weinstein asking a woman to watch him shower? Why is it that
I really like
voice?
potatoes? I'm a potato bug, damn it. Also, we got to take these forward films and edit them down to 30 minutes.
So does the potato bug also jerk off next to a plant?
Oh, that's a good-looking potato.
I'm sorry.
Come on, don't leave. Nobody will know.
Oh my god, it's gross little art. try to pull you back.
The big potato bug has a walker now, and very pathetic paparazzi photos have been
I
taken.
know. Now, of course, he's still like what, 2 feet tall or something.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Okay, but no, Brayton, because I know you don't much care for insects. Are you doing okay while we talk about insects?
Oh, I have a barf bag. I'm fine.
Okay.
Oh, you don't care? I'm so sorry. I didn't know you didn't care.
The mere mention of insects doesn't bother me. It's the only thing I am deeply disturbed by are the like photo lens extremely close photos of
me
bugs.
too.
I can't.
Oh no,
deal
I'm
with
not. Oh no, I agree with you. I'm not gonna look at like a close up of a
a
bee's eye.
telephotic butterfly mouth is not what I need to see.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
From
me,
a distance,
no.
a butterfly is like, "Hey, big boy." Close up, it's like,
It's the Patton Oswalt demon gag. Hello, Brayton.
This
Okay.
This is
That's what
not a
dances
tongue
through
or
my
a
dream.
mouth. It's my face.
Do you want to watch Congo with me?
Wait,
No.
Giant Butterfly, why do you like the movie Congo? I really like the fourth Ghostbuster.
You just called the
Wait, who in your mind, Raph, is the fourth Ghostbuster?
I'm trying to think of Ernie
coulda
Hudson's
called
name.
And why? I'm going to hold you to the fire. Why is Ernie Hudson the fourth Ghostbuster, Raph? Why does he have to go to the back of the line, Raph?
Because he was the fourth one hired in the team.
Yeah.
The first
Likely
the
so.
first true Ghostbuster was most likely Dan. was Ray Stantz, because he was into this bullshit. Egon, Egon lives with Ray, so he'll do anything. And then Peter's the third
think since
one.
Egon since Harold Ramis is dead, he has moved up to the third Ghostbuster now at this point, though.
Yeah, no, okay, yeah, I was trying to think of Ernie Hudson's name, and that says,
well, then don't bring racial politics into it.
I wasn't, dude.
Talking about the afterlife here.
Yeah, but no, he was the fourth
Can
one
that be-
introduced.
Can that be on his tombstone? Ernie Hudson. He was the fourth Ghostbuster.
No, don't even put Ernie Hudson. Just say the fourth Ghostbuster and let people wonder.
No, Ernie. No, we like Ernie Hudson. Okay. I just uncharacteristically forgot his name for a little while.
The fourth Ghostbuster. You mean the guy from the hand that rocks the cradle?
Oh, he's in that one too.
Yes.
Okay. With that says, I gotta watch Congo again.
Which arguably he plays. He really plays like a character that gets so heavily mistreated throughout like that whole movie.
That's a shame too, because what is it? He's technically a more dashing lead than the guy in Space Hunter, but he's barely in the movie. So.
Look, here's the thing with Ernie Hudson. Ernie Hudson's gonna be fondly remembered for Ghostbusters and The Crow, and then weird people like me are gonna be like, and the hand that rocks the cradle, and they're gonna be like,
oh
yes,
no, I got Congo.
Yeah. Well, Congo's at least more endearing than the one I threw out.
Yeah, he survives in Congo too after helping Truman Show's girlfriend defeat the killer monkeys.
We got. I would love for Raph to just be a producer of films. I got it laid out. The fourth Ghostbuster, Truman Girl. It's like that. It's like the guy from Ed Wood. I make crap.
Let me find her name. So yeah, it's
we got It the Clown, the fourth Ghostbuster, and the Truman Show Girl, and monkeys that are very smart.
What's the thing to guarantee to make any Ghostbuster film a hit? Tits. No, Ernie Hudson.
And then Ernie Hudson and lots of it.
Okay, so let me look at the cast. Okay, so let me look at the cast of Congo. We got
many ladies have landed on the Hudson Bay.
We have
uses that line.
Okay, now that I have the cast of the Congo in front of me, I'm going to say the real names. Okay, playing the role of Dr. Karen Ross, it's Truman Show fake wife. Playing Captain Monroe, and it's the fourth Ghostbuster. Playing the evil German Hinkerman, it is Kilo Khan from the digital world. As the corrupt corporate man R.B. Travis, it is Mitchell Man.
Mitchell Man?
Yeah.
Wait, Joe Don Baker's in this?
Yes, he's in that one too. So yeah.
Wait, Joe Don Baker's in Congo? I don't remember him being in there.
Yeah,
he's Amy.
He's supposed to be he's the father of Deadite Slayer Man.
Holy shit. I did not know that he was in there. Holy shit, I'm going to rewatch Congo.
Yeah, but no, joking aside, Laurel Linney is the name of the actress, and Ernie Hudson, like they're technically the lead heroes who kind of survive at the end. So
I'm so glad I'm on this one. I'm so glad I'm in this episode. Fourth Ghostbuster Man. Look out, fourth Ghostbuster Man. You there, say that again. Look out, fourth Ghostbuster Man.
Excuse me, fourth Ghostbuster. Don't talk to that talking monkey.
Amy loves Ghostbusters.
Fourth Ghostbuster Man.
I have a name, you know.
Imagine Amy only likes Ghostbusters 2. There's no accounting for taste in the primate world.
Those are Ghostbusters 2.
Ghostbusters 2. Amy's a big fan.
Oh yeah.
I happen to know this on first-hand basis.
Yeah. So, perfect for the Halloween show. We're talking Ghostbusters.
Specifically the fourth one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right. The one where they go to New York and everybody comes back. So.
Oh.
Oh, my God.
Oh man, she's just a fan of Bobby Brown. She's just singing on her own constantly by herself. All on her own.
Amy wants margarita.
She's like, too hot to handle, too cold to cold.
Amy
called-
wants throw
Call the
back.
Ghostbusters and we're in
I'm out of
control.
control.
I don't think so, Amy. Those things aren't meant for children. Go skinny Ghostbuster man, boring, ruins Groundhog Day.
Oh my God.
Crazy tinfoil Ghostbuster man. I don't think aliens will ever visit us after 9/11. Amy's scared.
But Amy is intrigued by Crystal Skull vodka.
Oh. Her and Larry King just have that like horrible cough after taking a shot. Oh,
You know, I never drew I never drew any through line between Dan Aykroyd appearing briefly, albeit in Temple of Doom, and then the fourth film being called The Crystal Skull. That's kind of amusing in a way.
Yeah, why didn't he show
What
up
a-
in that one?
yeah,
exactly. He would have fit right in.
Yeah.
That would
He could have been in these like double crossing Jones, whatever the fuck is the guy who keeps calling him Jonesy.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
instead of that wasted British actor who played Frankenstein
Oh.
in the Harry Potter movies.
Wasted British talent.
Yes.
Oh, the guy who was like the double agent. That's right. Oh, I
Mhm.
forgot. his name.
The triple agent, whatever the fuck his deal.
Yeah,
was.
that's right. He kept like going back and forth on like that whole
That's
film.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mac.
Indy
Mac.
has-
Mac.
Yeah, but
Mac.
Indy has bad friends.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're not wrong about that.
hmm They're either
Oh.
dead or they're traitors.
And I'm John Rhys Davies.
I'm going to
Just-
be.
I'm the fifth Ghostbuster. I'm also a what is it? What the fuck is an elf or a gnome? What is he?
Oh no, he's a
He's a-
dwarf.
A dwarf. Okay. I liked it. I'm sorry.
Wow, Brayton, really? You're gonna call John
I know,
Rhys
and I just
Davis a
watched all this
gnome?
stuff. Our last night owling was
He's John Rhys Davies, the gnome.
He's the Travelocity gnome. I want to
I
picture.
don't want to go inside the slider hole.
I
It's a
they
tree
call it a
stump.
hole. A hole. Yeah, I'd like to picture John Rhys Davies as Gimli, entirely dressed as a cute garden gnome throughout the series. It makes me happy.
He's just poorly blue screened in Lewis's garden.
You'll have my cocoon.
You'll take my caterpillar when you take my life, and fights the spider with an
Yeah.
axe.
No,
I
yeah,
would
but, yeah, our
love
la-
to see that.
Yes. By the way, yeah, Brayton was going to say our last episode was all dedicated to Lord of the Rings and Ford.
I know, and I forgot what his species was. I'm sorry to John Rhys Davies.
That's okay. Like, you really don't like fictional species. I try to share my idea for an epic goblin romance story, and you're like, no, Raph.
Well, no, it just gets so confusing.
Okay.
No.
How is little? What's the name of this little cat again? Faye.
That is Fei Fei.
Okay.
She's an agent of darkness, and she's the joy of my life.
Okay.
She is cute.
Yes,
Yeah.
she is adorable.
Quite adorable.
The eyes is what sells her as a
Mhm.
personality, I think.
Yes. No. So far, she's come out okay. I hope.
Just you blare over the Hypnotoad sound. That's right. You don't look into her floodlights. That's what it is.
What a ripoff! That full episode of the Hypnotoad show on the Futurama DVD. I was hoping. Something would
Yes,
happen.
on the extras. Yes. Oh, speaking of DVDs, so I just cleaned out my storage unit. Raf,
Mhm.
if there's any DVDs, I mean, we'll have to like make a day, but you are second. You are second on picks because I believe my brother wanted some stuff, but whatever he doesn't pick out or if he changes his mind, you're more than welcome to pick up whatever I
Ooh,
have.
Yes, yes. Thanks. I don't know if I still have the Batman Brave and the Bold DVDs you gave me, or if they're still in your collection. But I would like those. So
I mean, funny enough, I mean, you might when you go through this, you might just see like, well, I already have all this stuff, but I'm just trying to be as minimalistic as I can
Mhm.
in these current years. It's not that I don't have an appreciation for media anymore or just things in general. It's just that with me personally, like I try to travel as much as I can, and because of that, like my networking has gotten me, though it hasn't gotten me like something stable. Like there have been coming opportunities lately where out of town opportunities have been offered to me as
Mhm.
far as work goes, and I've just made that decision that if that were to happen again, I would like to know that I can just grab a suitcase and say like I can go to Georgia or I can go to Texas or I can go wherever it is, New York or wherever it is I need to go for work without having to like pay like a steep amount for a storage unit.
Right.
That and I think I told you guys, I think on the last show, I think my storage unit got robbed, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so this is like the leftover of what got robbed. So I'm just like, okay, I don't really have a necessity for these things anymore. So again, if my brother wants whatever I have, he's more than welcome to take it. But if he doesn't want any of that stuff, you're more than welcome to take it. Do whatever you need with it. It's yours.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah, and I do love physical media, but I also understand having all that stuff is a pain in the ass. I got too many comic books I need to get rid of later this year.
Yeah, and again, I don't want to burden you either, but I was like, I don't want to like feel like, okay, like there could have been an opportunity that you could have had something that maybe you wanted that you were just hesitant to buy. Maybe I have it, so you can fill up your collection with it without having to spend like a dime or whatever. So.
Oh yeah, no, it's great to find DVDs for cheap. Like,
yeah, I know, absolutely.
It's like, what is it, like the Monster Palooza earlier this year? There was a guy who got a table next door to me and Mark, who was just getting rid of all his DVDs and Blu-rays because he kept talking about the wonders of streaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about that one, but sure.
Yeah, sure thing, buddy. But no, his failure was my success because he was selling like Blu-rays for $10 and DVDs for $5. And
oh, no kidding.
I got every DVD I wanted that I've been holding off for like the last 6 years because they were too expensive.
No kidding.
Yeah, with that says, screw you, Shout Factory. I got my Manitou DVD Blu-ray.
No, like I said, if there's anything in here that he just doesn't pick up that you want, like, be my guest. If your brothers want any of this, like, be my guest as well. So, ooh, speaking of which, well, we'll talk about that later after the show, but yeah.
We're gonna murder one of my brothers.
And then I will
the fourth brother.
Yes, the fourth brother. Binky.
Look out, fourth brother.
Binky Gonzalez.
Binky Gonzalez. But
what are you gonna do with me, Raph? Just get in the box, Binky. I don't wanna.
You can have my autographed copy of Halloween 3 of the John Carpenter autographed copy of Halloween 3.
Oh.
He was so pissed off that I made him sign that. Oh my god, I've never seen a man so angry in my life.
Okay, okay, how did that go? Was that the time you broke into his house and were like, sign this?
No, so I forget if it was like, I think it was at Long Beach Comic Con like millions of years ago when like the show was like actually reputable.
Come on, John Carpenter's not that old.
No, well, okay, but this was
okay, I'm joking.
This honestly, Raph, this had to have been probably like 10, 12 years ago now. But so Carpenter was there and he was doing a signing and everybody was lined up. Everybody had Escape from New York stuff, Halloween stuff. But I'm the only one, and I knew he was going to be there, and I was like, I really want to see if I could get him to sign a copy of Halloween 3. And he was like, I didn't work on this, right? I was like, no, but you helped produce it, though. I do know that much. And he was just like, fine. And he just signs it, and his wife was there. And then I was like, Mr. Carpenter? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, what's your favorite food? And then he looks to his wife, and he goes, honey, what's that plate you make that I like so much? Spaghetti, dear. I like spaghetti. Next.
At least that went a little better than the time I met John Landis.
Avoid dark joke.
I know, Brayton. I know you were going to do that. I was hoping you'd be a little better than that.
No, that would be a disaster and end of tragedy.
Right. So, a quick question. Goji Shea says, I've lost count how many Ghostbusters men we've just created.
Too many.
Oh my god. Yeah,
the amount of Ghostbusters is too damn high.
I know, exactly. What a waste of a perfectly good, handsome, blonde British boy in the last one.
Well, what plane of existence does the female Ghostbusters exist on now? Since they've done that legacy sequel thing. Does it have its own universe? Is it?
Yes, it's in its own universe. It was made official in the comic books from IDW.
There you go. Yeah, I was gonna bring up the books for a minute, but you beat me to it.
The universe is titled the $5 Bin, by the way.
Bang. Okay, I don't know why I did that. I'm sorry.
I mean, speaking of the female Ghostbusters, it's say what you will about it. Like, I have no opinion on it, but what I do have an opinion on though is like it's kind of baffling that like with Extreme Ghostbusters being a thing, and it being received well, why the concept of something not an adaptation of Extreme Ghostbusters, because there would be no way they would want to do that, just because studios don't like to necessarily borrow from something that's already been made, because the pre-attachment of like, well, this is only going to get us a certain amount of audience, like it's not going to make money if only like a niche audience is going to come see this, right?
Yes.
So
and plus, gingers in wheelchairs terrify studio executives.
right, like that 30% is not enough of a market value for one of them. but with that, but again, there was a modicum of success there that you would think you would lean into something, which I guess they eventually did do with what we currently have with the current Ghostbuster 2 films that we have with Frozen Empire and Afterlife. It's technically along those lines, but I would have thought that, like, okay, because I just said you don't want to go with something that's legacy media. And again, they do break that rule if it's like guaranteed legacy media, like the original Ghostbusters, which makes sense why you would attach, the whole Egon thing and everything. But with Extreme Ghostbusters doing well, like I would have imagined at this point, like they would have tackled something like that already, especially with the current climate of storytelling. Like it just seemed like this seems to be like the most obvious thing you can do that I think would have done well with a diverse cast of characters as opposed to an all-female cast. Not saying that you couldn't do that, but I'm just saying I'm surprised that they didn't go there is what I'm saying.
Yeah, so you're basically okay, so you're not saying they should have done a live action version of Extreme Ghostbusters. You're saying that they should have done something similar with a wide variety of different characters.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm surprised we didn't get that. But
okay, so I do have a very good idea what happened with the all-female Ghostbusters, and I don't want to be too mean because it's one of those cases where the creators or people who worked on the movie kind of fumbled the ball, but you don't want to be too mean because the people in question are relatively nice people. It's like they might suck.
I agree with you.
Yeah, they might suck as creatives, but as human beings, they're let's give them a hand.
Well, even then, as creatives, they're not. But as creatives, they're also pretty consistent. It's just. I mean, for me personally, like not to go like too mean on it. I mean, it didn't do much for me. Yeah. Like it had potential. I'll say that much.
Yeah, no, it had potential. Good, I just think they fumbled the ball on many regards. But no, what happened was that not Kevin Feige, not the Marvel dude. Who's the guy who's always dressed in a nice suit?
Paul Feig.
Paul Feig. Thank you. I was almost going to make a Brayton joke, but then I realized no.
You would have made a Brayton joke if you pronounced his last name another way. But
no, Brayton. Brayton.
Okay. All right. Well,
well, I actually don't know how you pronounce it, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say that it's Feig.
Okay. Yeah. No.
Good guy. He was the co-creator of Freaks and Geeks, which is a wonderful show.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. No. He's a sweetheart. All things considering, he's a really cool dude from everything I've heard about. But no, the thing is, he has no experience. He had no experience with Ghostbusters whatsoever. So when he was given the assignment, because Sony Entertainment in their infinite wisdom, aka the single brain cell they share amongst each other, they thought that, Kevin Feig did a lot of successful movies, so let him have it. And Kevin Feig, not knowing anything about Ghostbusters, he pretty much just went, okay, huh?
Paul Feig.
Paul Feig. Thank you. Okay, sorry about that.
The other one does the Charleston. This one does not. That's how you know the difference.
Oh yeah. So
Kevin does the Charleston and then says you're gonna watch this Marvel movie and like it. The other one does not.
Oh, that's okay. So yeah, Paul Feig. Sorry. Yeah, by all accounts, Paul Feig is a very wonderful guy. He's done a lot of good work. But no, he had no experience with Ghostbusters whatsoever. Sony Entertainment, not really considering things, just told him to do whatever he wants. So he just basically did another female improv comedy that happens to have the Ghostbuster elements in it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just think it was a bit of it was more of a corporate misfire, because it's like, what is it? Yeah, the idea of an all-female Ghostbusters team with a bit of a more comical edge, that could work. But
yeah, I think it absolutely could.
Yeah, but no,
women don't smoke cigarettes and talk shit?
Mm-hmm, no, absolutely.
Yeah, that's the old adage says, women be bustin'.
Yeah.
Women be busted.
Yeah.
I actually unironically would love to see
my favorite Ghostbuster is Ghostbuster Woman.
I mean, honestly, I
Sorry.
would love to just see like at this point, just like a carbon copy at it, just to see like a woman just be like, "What the fuck?" Like as a ghost pops out with this and a cigarette just fall out of her mouth, and then like the maid go,
Oh.
"What the hell was that?" Or no, it was like, "What the hell y'all doing?"
Yeah. But no, I think the big problem with that movie was it was just Sony Entertainment doing its usual stupid thing. And
Yeah.
I don't
They're quite inconsistent to say the least.
they're inconsistent, but they're also consistently stupid.
Yeah.
because it's like
Sorry.
what is it? Like does every movie Sony make has to end in Times Square, and does it always have to be that hideous neon light whatever?
It,
So
could it be the Roger Corman thing of like we spent a lot of money on a special effect that we just have to use forever, possibly,
probably.
or set piece, or who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, alternatively,
Well,
maybe they just have a lot of advertising over there. So, but it's almost as embarrassing as the
could be that.
Spider-Man movies Sony makes, and it's like they keep insisting on throwing Sony products all over the place. It's like,
Right.
I don't know. There's a lot.
It does get pretty shameless. I agree.
Yeah, yeah. No. Sony Entertainment is pretty shameless. So,
They
but
do well at taking care of their catalog, though, their back catalog of old movies.
that
I
is
think
true.
still for consistently in
That
terms of how they
yeah.
restore old things or how they preserve them in the special features that they have
Yeah.
on physical
Oh,
releases.
God.
I think they handle that well.
Yeah,
better
I
than
agree
almost
with you
anybody.
there. Yes.
Yeah, no,
100%
I
with you.
got to give Sony credit. Without them, I would have never. They out of nowhere they did the restoration and re-release of Cash on Demand, and that's become one
Yeah.
of my favorite movies in the last couple of
I
years.
think out of the big companies, the Warner Archive and Universal, especially Universal, because
Wow.
they can really F up their old releases. I think they handle that with the most care.
Oh yeah,
In terms
No,
of
I agree
contemporary
with
modern movies, though, yeah, it's
yes.
I
definitely.
definitely agree with you, Brayton, on that. Warner Brothers has to be the absolute worst.
Yeah.
Absolute worst.
No, I
They-
think maybe Disney / 20th Century Fox are probably even worse than that. Because a lot of their stuff goes in the vault. The vast majority of their stuff isn't even readily available. And ever since Disney bought out 20th Century Fox, a company that was already burying and locking up its own library of many different movies,
Sure.
I think that might be worse. But no, at the same time, Warner Brothers has David Zaslav, and he's slowly destroying the library left and right. There's rumors that he's not just him, but many of the other executives are just deleting films, period, to save room and money.
Isn't it
Older
amazing though
movies.
how Disney back in the day was able to transform burying their own library as a pithy marketing campaign?
Mhm.
Isn't
Yeah.
that amazing? With creating the Disney Vault.
Mhm.
Well, let's predict now that they might be doing something hilariously buffoonish, but the streaming version of that, and I'm pretty sure people will follow suit to like chase that trend soon enough.
Mhm.
Why not? I mean, why not? I mean, they've done it with home media. Who's to say that they're not deep in the Disney vault right now, like figuring out how do we do this, but with streaming though? There has to be a reason why they refuse to put certain things out on the streaming platform. It can't possibly be because of I'm not even speaking of stuff that's like part of the 20th century catalog, because I
Mhm.
mean there you can make, I guess, like an anecdote of an argument about maybe there's a rights issue there, maybe there's stuff that still needs to be legally handled. Again, I don't know, but I'll speculate poorly on that because I don't know.
Yeah.
But when it comes to their own catalog though, I would not put it past them if they're making something, because again, remember, what was it like, unless I'm really crazy for about what I'm about to say, didn't they try to make Disney Minus or like something that was like the cheaper version of Disney Plus?
I have I've never
Mickey
heard-
-1, I believe. was what
It
they
had-
were trying to do.
Honest to God, I would believe that if that really was the name, but they were making an attempt to make something like a more frugal alternative platform to their streaming platform, and it failed.
Mhm.
And I would not doubt if that thing succeeded, we would have probably have seen the digital equivalent of what the Disney Vault marketing campaign would look like. In other words, oh, you want to see the Fox and the Hound, or you want to see the infamous Song of the South, for whatever reason, it would be on Disney Plus, because it would be edited with the context like you would with the Looney Tunes Golden Age films, where it's like,
Mhm.
yeah, well, have someone like Whoopi Goldberg come out, or in this case, you would have maybe Samuel Jackson come out, since he's part of the Disney brand now.
Hey, you motherfuckers! You want to watch some cartoons?
He's like, hey, motherfuckers, why do you want to watch this, huh?
Now I know damn well you don't want to watch the Song of the South, Timmy.
So why don't you turn around and watch Bluey instead? That's right, I said it.
Okay, no, my joke was that Samuel L. Jackson's really pissed off that you're going to watch Make
Yes,
My
Brer
Music.
Fox deserves to die, and I hope he burns in hell.
Then they like hand him a giant sack of money. Enjoy the film.
Just saved Disney a lot of time.
Mhm. No, there's a lot of reasons why older movies or the larger library is never shown, and two of the main reasons is one, the companies are hoarding it, and two, just hoarding it for the sake of hoarding it, because in their twisted philosophy, they might be able to, hey, if we make a remake, we don't want people to see the original.
There is that. I'll agree with you on that.
Yeah, but also more the point, I think it's just not financially viable. It's like, you like Condor Man. I like Condor Man.
Yeah,
the
I like
rest of the
Condor
world doesn't give a shit about Condor Man. Brayton doesn't give a shit about Condor Man.
Condor Man is just a punchline of a joke that I have.
Yeah, Brayton says Condor Man is the movie they play when you're being punished at the Disney Hold'em.
Yeah, when you
cells.
act up at one of the park and like tug on one of the characters' tail, and your mom makes you go back to the hotel room with grandma and watch Condor Man on the old TV.
It's not that bad of a movie. Yeah. I wouldn't say it's bad at all, but I could see why people wouldn't be like breaking their neck to necessarily see it. But I don't know, but I like all sorts of bizarre things. So Condor Man's like one of those things where it's like, I don't know, I like Condor Man.
Yeah, no, I don't mind Condor Man either. That's something I gotta do 100% weird. So maybe if you're free a Friday night, we'll bring you aboard.
Yeah.
Okay,
no,
but but no, there's certain movies that I think just don't have that kind of appeal, and also streaming costs a lot more. It's a lot more expensive than people make it out to be. It's like it's really hard to keep all that stuff available. I know David Zaslav, that idiot. He's very extremely conservative, extremely money related. So he probably would have deleted shows and movies regardless if streaming was free or not.
What if he is recently I just saw what was it? A lot of Cartoon Network alumni, or former Cartoon Network alumni, I should say. I don't know if they're still working there or not.
Mm-hmm.
But people, I should rephrase it. People that had an opportunity to work on the now defunct What a Cartoon program, or cartoon program.
Mm-hmm.
One person, I wouldn't say whistle blew necessarily, but made an awareness of what happened recently to their short and other people's shorts not seeing the light of day, because again, you sign your contracts, the company owns your shorts if you make them, right? And if they don't do anything with them, you can't do anything with them either. But you were promised originally, like, these were going to see the light of day. The Disney Discovery, the Warner Discovery transition happens, and because of that, for legal reasons, they cannot move forward with your pilots anymore, because again, it's the whole legality of who owns what and what goes where, and if this airs and there's commercials behind it, well, there's money to be made. Whose money is that now? So it stays. As far as I know, it sounds like the program got canceled. It might be in limbo, but as far as this person is made awareness, it sounds like it's got it right now. It is canceled, and they're pretty upset. And I understand what I can understand what to be upset about. It sucks. Like, you're right. Like, Warner Brothers is in is in the midst of stuff like that. So
I know, and it's sad too, because like as okay, so the history of Warner Brothers for me has always been an insane clown show behind the scenes. Like Jack Warner. If I had a time machine and a baseball bat, I know one of the first people I visited would be Jack Warner.
Well, keep in mind, Jack Warner was, if I remember correctly, Jack Warner was also the guy that, like, for the Looney Tunes shorts, like, oh, you guys like money? Well, I like money too. Here's what I'll do. I'm going to divide all of the animators into different units, and whoever makes the best cartoon gets more money. Have at it, boys.
I think that was the guy before Jack Warner. What's his name? The one who Porky Pig quit his job in front of in live action.
Oh, man. Who was that then? Was it Leon? It wasn't Leon Schlesinger.
No, I think it is Leon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so then never mind. Then I stand corrected.
But no. Warner Brothers has always had like a really weird history behind the scenes. It's like when you think of like Barton Fink style shit shows, Warner Brothers is the closest thing to real reality it's ever
Which
been.
which isn't that in itself? Isn't Barton Fink a Warner Brothers film?
Right
Or
then?
was that? Is it?
What?
Is Barton Fink? Was Barton Fink by Warner Brothers or was that by Fox? I don't think that was Paramount. Or was it?
no, I think it is. I think it was Fox.
No,
I can
okay.
double check.
Okay,
Please.
then. Yeah. But no, as far as their library is concerned, Warner Brothers has always had an amazing collection of movies. And
I agree.
and it's so sad that amazing collection is now being kind of ruined and discarded and even canceled and destroyed just because somebody is treating this incredible movie library no better than a really dumb rich person selling off their generational home for probate peanuts from
Pretty
the
much.
bank. So
Yeah.
and that's basically what David Zaslav did to the Coyote versus Acme, a completely finished movie. One that got really good praise by all the early screenings and people who've seen it before it got canceled. I mean,
Right.
buried, and all just so David Zaslav can have a relatively minor tax cut. So I don't know. It's just and plus David Zaslav technically created reality TV, so he can go fuck himself.
For the record, too, Barton Fink. That was during the Coen Brothers '90s 20th Century Fox phase. So yes,
Okay,
Fargo,
that is-
Raising Arizona, Miller's Crossing. That was all 20th.
Yeah,
Century.
too bad. Barton Fink is now in the Disney vault, and we'll never see it again. Hurry up and get your copy of the Barton Fink and the.
Hey,
Big
and,
Witch.
and what John Goodman has in the box at the end is supposedly the wife's head. So that's what's in the vault as well as Walt Disney's head. See, there are correlations.
Oh my
in-
goodness! You think the wife and
I'll
Walt
show
Disney?
you the life of a mind.
I'm a two-starred, so I'm now a captain.
Well, maybe it's better that it was done by Fox because it would probably be shamelessly cross-promoted with like Looney Tunes characters or something if it was done by Warner Brothers.
Oh yeah.
I'm just saying, like you probably would have seen John
Barton
Goodman.
Fink could have been in Space Jam.
There you go. Exactly. So
God.
crisis averted.
Raph, don't you like Space Jam Towards the Future or whatever it was called? What was that?
The Space Jam, was it Space Jam Legacy?
Yeah, Space Jam Legacy.
I liked it.
Okay, so so remember our last show, 1% Weird, where we did the two westerns, No Name on the Bullet and A Bad Day at Black Rock.
I have no recollection what you're talking about whatsoever. Even though I programmed that into scientific.
Okay, yeah,
Wiped it from my mind.
Yeah,
Mind
but
wiped.
no, that show. The funny thing is, yeah, we did a double feature on my Twitch stream for those movies. But what's interesting is that we had a conversation about movies that play differently when you watch them the second time. Like the first time, you're just kind of gobsmacked by just how entertaining the movie is, regardless if it's bad
Or not entertaining it is.
Yeah, and then the second time is when you reabsorb it and see if it's even worth revisiting. And then that way, if you revisit the third or fourth time, then, the movie has merit. Space Jam: The New Legacy, that's a perfect example of what happened. The first time I watched it, it's like, oh, this isn't bad. It's kind of entertaining and stupid, but yeah, it's not half bad.
Yeah.
And then trying to watch it a second time, it's like, oh, this is just vomit catalog corporatism. No, fuck.
We all have
Yeah.
crosses to bear, Raph. We were all involved in that Ready Player One review, which will be there forever.
Yeah, there's there's some merits to Ready Player One, but even that, it's like, yeah, the future of cinema. Boy.
Ready Player One.
IP.
Ready Player One's a satire. Space Jam: A New Legacy.
It's supposed to be serious.
Yeah, like it's supposed to. It's not a satire, even though you could kind of call it a satire. It's an indirect satire.
I know. It's like
That's the difference. One's an indirect corporate satire, and the other one's like, no, this is supposed to be satirical.
yeah.
This is supposed to be tongue in cheek. The other one is literally just vomit on screen. That like, honestly, is only entertaining if you're watching it in a theater with other people laughing. But if you're by yourself watching that damn thing and you're like not 7, I don't know. You have to tell me what you're getting out of it.
I know. It's like, it's bad enough we have this 80s nostalgia, but I think Space Jam: A New Legacy kind of helped quill the excitement for 90s nostalgia, because it's like, oh, there really wasn't anything going on here, was there?
Well, yeah, I mean, yes and no, because like now I have to wonder in 20 years, are the kids that went to go see that movie gonna grow up fondly looking back at it, going like, I didn't know any of these things, but these were things that apparently my parents enjoyed at some point.
I think that's really the sad state of entertainment in general is that children, actual kids growing up, their options are so limited because it's all targeted at their parents.
Mhm.
That's who these,
Yes,
live action
I
remakes are for. They're
I
all, but what are they going to do when they're not the viable market anymore? Is the question. When they run out of things to regurgitate, I don't know
well,
how the market's going to dry up then.
I don't think it would necessarily. Well, I think a portion of the market will dry up in the sense that like legacy media will finally have to go away. In other
Mhm.
words, like the media that we. I mean, I say we, but I don't think us three are really pushing for certain things to be remade or
No.
whatever, right?
That's like the top comment under all these trailers anymore is who asked for this.
Yeah.
There's not a public outcry of Lilo and Stitch. We need the live action version.
Right. Right. And
No.
I agree. But that doesn't fall necessarily into the nostalgia. That's more that. So one thing I did learn recently through a friend was like when catalogs pretty much hit like their 20-year mark,
Mhm.
that's when studios don't necessarily get nostalgic, but they're like, we're gonna capitalize on the anniversary. So we're gonna make a live action version of this thing. We're gonna make a remake of this other thing. Like because it's it's an
Okay,
it's an in
I'm just going to say this very quickly. What you just said and what Brayton just said, the whole thing, who asked for this / anniversary time. Now Gamma Rebirth makes so much more sense on Netflix.
No, but it should, because again, like it's not like, yeah, you're right. Who asked for it? Nobody. Somebody in the studio was like, oh, this had 20 years. Let's open it up, because Variety or whoever we pay money to promote it will mention it's the anniversary of blank. So
Mhm.
therefore blank is coming out. That's the only reason why certain things just even get made nowadays. I'm pretty sure that's always been like that, but that's something I've been allowed to know of recently. And that's when a catalog hits a certain decade of milestone. That's the time when you have to strike the iron. It's a 30th anniversary.
Yeah.
You don't even realize there's an anniversary until you see like, oh, Heinz is coming out with an exclusive Ghostbusters ketchup
Oh my
for the
god!
third.
It's
for
the
the
ketchup
third.
Ghostbuster man. We gotta get it.
It's green. It's the 30th anniversary of Ghostbusters, you guys. And then
Oh
you're
my
like,
god! I'm rubbing my nipples in excitement.
I mean, I think before it wasn't so
I'm
blatant
joking.
because well, now you gotta be disappointed, but
Oh,
A great visual in my mind.
sorry, everybody.
no, but like before, I don't think because we had no internet, we had newspapers, and even then, who's really gonna rail about the 30th anniversary of this thing? Nobody necessarily gave a shit. It was just like the catalog has hit certain year, and who knows, maybe and especially when you have to think about like rights being like reverted back over. Okay, well, we're pretty much at the cornerstone of this thing reverting back to the hands of Laszlo Panaflex or whoever, right?
It
So
all
we
comes
have
back now.
so
Don't
we
worry.
have to make some sort of media and push it out. Doesn't matter if it does well or not, because
Mhm.
that'll help us retain the rights again. So I mean, there's also that. But I mean, with the internet being a thing and with consumerism evolving or de-evolving, if you want to look at it cynical, you'll say de-evolve. If you want to look at it non-cynically, it's a type of evolution, not a
Mhm.
pleasant one for many of us, but it's an evolution nonetheless. Like it's an awful step to see because it's not a step you like, but you still hope that like it opens up like a new frontier for something else. I mean, this is what the 80s was. This is what the 70s was. The 60s was doing for the 70s to do, for the 80s to do, and then so on and so forth. Like
Yeah.
it changes.
You know,
And you hope that it changes for the better.
I do.
I'm not justifying most of what's coming out as good because I don't like it. I'm just saying
Yeah.
because it sucks, people hate it, and then studios have to then go, our backs are against the wall, and we like money. Maybe we should listen to people now.
Yeah,
We've tried it. We've tried it the crappy way. Now let's try it the creative way again.
Yes, I have two things to add to what you guys just said. There's Brayton who says that a lot of this stuff today is just redone nostalgia.
It's
for lack of a
recycled.
term.
I agree. 100% agree.
Yeah, and then of course there's also the thing is that like what is it like we revisited the Sandlot recently on my Twitch channel, a part of the movie Graveyard Shift.
Ooh.
Yeah, and it was
no.
it's amazing how that movie holds up just as like a good little kids adventure that's inspired by nostalgia for the 60s but isn't
Hmm.
overly drenched or ruined by it. It's not
Sure.
it's a very fun little just family comedy. But no,
Sure.
it's like in addition to like all this nostalgia being just dredged up for corporate reasons, I see
Mhm.
nothing but corporate decisions in most movies and television shows these
Yeah,
days.
I
And it's
agree.
really disappointing because back in the old days, yeah, you had like back in the 80s, there was a lot of stuff that was decided because, a corporate company was doing stupid things for the sake of
Sure.
stupid. It was
Sure.
Reaganomics, basically. But the writer,
Reaganomics.
yeah,
Well.
damn
You
you,
could say well a lot.
yes, yes. But no, but on one hand, if you look at it cynically, yeah, a lot of that was just toy commercials poorly done. But the creators behind the show did their best to try to do something unique with them.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too.
Mm-hmm.
Who can you say is really trying to make the best of a worse situation? Because
Yeah.
again, we have the, and again, not to sound too cynical, because I'm really trying to think of somebody that's like trying to defy all odds, and unfortunately right now I cannot think of an example because
Yeah.
my brain immediately wants to go into a cynical portion of it and say, like, I don't think people are like creators are necessarily trying to, I'm sure there is, but I just can't think of one to like counter my own point right now. I like to at least bring
Well,
two sides to the coin, but right now I just can't.
yeah.
Right now my mind looks at like, is thinking about like what's being made and what's being pushed out a lot, and a lot of it, and a lot of it, when it doesn't do well, you will go online and see said creator get vehemently upset, like you didn't get it, or whatever, and it's like, well,
Mm-hmm.
maybe it was just bad. Maybe
Yeah.
it just wasn't good.
Yeah, and even if the creator tries to do something good with the material, it's ruined by corporate. Like, what is it? Like a lot.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
like a lot of Marvel movies are very much decided by the studio itself, and hence the reason why Tony
Well, okay.
Stark learns a very good lesson at the end of every movie,
Okay.
but then he immediately
Well,
forgets it the next movie over
okay, here we
because
go. Here,
yeah,
you gave me a good example. James Gunn. James Gunn is a good example of
yes,
somebody that's like, look, I'm in the corporate world. I don't like what I'm being told to do. I'm going to make the best of this
mm-hmm,
property known as Guardians of the Galaxy. It's probably not exactly how I wanted it to make it because I have to answer to a higher calling, but I'm going to still put my seasoning into these characters.
yeah,
And if the story is true about Guardians 3 being a giant allegory as a fuck you to Disney, it works.
I know,
I see it. I
yeah,
definitely see it.
yeah,
You know,
and
so
And
I'll
James.
use James Gunn as an example.
Yeah, and James Gunn was very lucky too because Guardians of the Galaxy is technically a sci-fi adventure that takes place in another world. So he
Sure.
can get away with saying things that you couldn't do on, like, again, Iron Man. Tony
No,
Stark,
you-
yeah, Tony
exactly.
Stark learns these valuable lessons at the end of all his movies, but because these movies are very pro-capitalism, pro-status
Sure.
quo,
Yeah.
it always goes back to him being a blithering idiot the next
Well,
movie, and it's
well,
just the same story over and over again, minus some of the funny bits and character elements that I do
sure.
honestly love.
Sure.
And that's another thing about the Marvel universe. It's like, and to a lesser extent, the DC movies, the world isn't allowed to change for the better. It's always reverting back to like the status quo dumbness. Whereas
Well,
Guardians of the
yeah.
Galaxy, you could really have some heart and emotion because thankfully they were so separated from Earth, they could really do more
It's
with the story.
it's a
Yeah, and
it's a
I
it's a
hope.
film.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And I hope James Gunn has a really good time with I was really
Superman.
impressed with Peacemaker and his Suicide Squad movie,
Yeah.
even knowing that maybe they went a little too mean-spirited. I know the Guardians of the Galaxy movies can be accused of that, but there were some times where it's
Mm,
like, yeah, maybe our heroes can tone down the accidental murder of innocent people a little bit.
I don't know if I would use mean spirited necessarily, but they're
Callous, maybe. Flippant.
callous and dark, sure, but
Mm-hmm.
no, I mean, look, if that's how it look, if that's, look, we're not the same person. We don't emote the same. Me and you, we're total. This is why we like each other. We're different. We
Mm-hmm.
like certain things, but we can disagree on certain things, and we can learn from
You and
each
I
other.
have a lot in common, Lewis. You should join me.
And I turn around and I'm fused with you, and I'm like, oh no! I can
Join
taste.
me, and we can rule the universe as acquaintance and online celebrity.
And then I'll say like, wait a minute, take a bite of that chicken tender, and then you do, and it's like, oh man, that's really delicious. I'm on board.
Yeah.
No,
and then Brayton
but
shoots lightning from his fingers at us.
I mean,
Sorry,
I could definitely see the mean spirited nature that you are talking about.
Mhm.
I don't have too much of a hard time with it, but believe me, I have my like my standard of where it's like, okay, this is a bit too. This is just too mean. Like, okay, I'll give you an example. Like Curb Your Enthusiasm. It's a great show. I
Mhm.
respect the show. I cannot watch that show for like. I cannot binge that show like other people can.
Oh yeah.
I cannot watch a man like either get screamed at or scream at others for like more than an hour at a time, because it's like, dude, this is like my real life. Like I
Mhm.
deal with screaming every day doing DoorDash. I don't want to watch a show about that, about a guy getting like, like just the worst end of the stick constantly, or
Mhm.
half of it being done to himself. It's like, all right, dude, I'll just go live my life for
Yeah.
free. You know?
Yeah.
So there you go. See, that's where I will meet you on like mean spirited nature stuff can be a bit much, even for me.
I know.
Curb is my example.
I know. It's like, what is it? Like if you've been in prison, the last thing you want to do is watch a bunch of prison dramas when you
Yeah,
get out.
you definitely don't. Yeah, you're probably not gonna want to watch stuff like that. It's like if you're a
Yeah.
parent, you're not gonna watch like you're probably not gonna want to watch like The Lovely Bones or something like that,
Yeah.
right? Especially if you're just having a baby, you're not gonna want to watch films about child kidnapping
Oh my
or
god.
like that, right? But you
Yeah.
got like
I
that's
had,
my point.
I know I had a similar situation with Nick and Laura when they had their own little movie channel. They watched like when they knew they were gonna have a baby in a couple of months. It's like they made the mistake of watching Razorback. We all know what happens in that movie.
Yeah, yeah, it's like you
Better
don't
than
watch.
watching the second Fly movie.
That is true.
Right
Yeah,
before
that's true.
labor, you know.
Woo,
I know.
nice cut with that one.
Yeah. especially if you're one of those people who owns a Gina Davis as a pet and she dies on you.
Oh no!
If you're one of the people who owns Gina Davis, let the poor girl out. For
Okay,
God's
yeah.
sake. She's had a
Yeah.
home.
Hey, Brian, whatever happened to Gina Davis? She just disappeared.
Tell us the story of Gina Davis. oh my god, that's our legacy sequel. Where is Gina Davis?
It's
Where in the world is
Gina Davis.
in Italy they call it Cutthroat Island 2.
Thelma and Louise 2, Zombie Apocalypse.
Oh my god, which again in Italy would probably be called Cutthroat Island 2.
Oh my goodness. Okay, but yeah, no, it's funny. Oh god, what was I gonna say before we got distracted by Gina
Well,
Davis?
we were talking about like James Gunn. He could be a tad mean spirited. But before that, we were talking about how corporatism really like you were specifying how corporatism has destroyed a lot of like media. It pretty much harps on legacy media too much.
Mhm.
I think Brayton was agreeing with that point. I was agreeing with you on that
Yeah,
point.
and
I
also,
was trying to figure out a positive example, which I wasn't able to do till we got to James Gunn. And that's
yeah,
where
well, there's also James Gunn, but there are like a lot of creatives in the industry who are desperately trying to basically make lemonade out of lemons, so to speak.
yeah,
And
I mean,
and
okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Here's another example. What's his face? The guys who did Spider-Man, the animated Spider-Man films, the Clone High guys.
oh yeah, even well, let's also admit to the fact that I know the okay,
Oh.
so god damn it, hold on, let me breathe, let me think.
Yeah,
Okay, so
we're gonna eat burgers after this for sure.
yes, we are getting burgers. Brayton, if you can take an airplane, come join us.
I would like an alligator burger.
Oh, awesome.
We'll get you in spirit.
Yes.
All right.
So yeah, we'll toast you. We'll toast to Brayton after we're done here. No,
you're
okay.
you're gonna toast me?
Toast to you. Yes.
Oh, toast to me.
Yes.
Okay, thank
Yeah,
you. You're not
that
gonna
or-
put me
that
over
or
a
we can
spit.
make like little bread sculptures and just bake you in the oven. It's like
I
Brayton.
just don't want to be spit roasted.
You'll be the fourth toast buster.
Toasting makes me feel good.
Oh no, the Stay
Oh,
Puft Marshmallow
Lord.
Man has a new way to be killed. Okay, so the Spider-Verse movies, yeah, those are definitely excellent examples of trying to do a good Spider-Man movie in the corporate bad system of Sony
And that's a
Entertainment.
very corporate bad system because we're talking Sony there,
Yeah.
emoji movie territory.
Yeah, and even knowing that there is some behind the scenes bullshit with the
Bill Lord and Chris Miller. There you go. Those two.
with Lord
Bill
and-
Lord and Chris,
Yeah.
Lord and Miller.
Yeah, it's like granted, it's like they come up with some really good movies, but there is some behind the scenes bullshit that kind of ruins the excitement of it. But no, you're
Are
absolutely
you
right.
talking about the animation budget thingy, like the mistreatment of the animators say?
Yes, and the fact
Yeah.
that they went into making this movie without even considering how the sequel is going to go, it's like, guys, don't do that. Don't do an Abrams.
Yeah, please don't do an Abrams and please don't do a Rogan. At
Exactly.
the very least, don't do a Rogan.
Yeah,
Which I don't
yeah.
think they did. That they did more of an Abramsy kind of thing where I think they bit off more than they can chew.
Mm-hmm.
Where a Rogan would be like, "Oh, I don't give a fuck. You're gonna make this you're gonna make this." I was gonna say mediocre, but it's actually it's an okay movie. I don't think I need to watch it again.
Mm-hmm.
But it really did not live up to the hype at the time when Sausage Party came out. When everybody was like, "This is the greatest thing ever,"
Yeah.
and I finally watched it. I'm like, "This is okay."
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I will say this
it's
though. I think
fun.
I think Rogan did a much better job with the Ninja Turtles film. I thought that was a nice little.
I agree, and there you go, another example of wading through the water of corporatism. Because again, Nickelodeon is absolutely making a giant toy commercial with that film.
Yeah, and Nickelodeon. Oh my God, it's as bad as Cartoon Network is. I'd feel a lot more depressed if I was forced to work for Nickelodeon. It's like,
Yes,
yeah,
Nickelodeon
Warner
is not a
Brothers.
pleasant creature either.
Yeah, Warner Brothers will tell you to to get the hell out. You're fired. Whereas Nickelodeon will leave you in the middle of the desert. It's like, we'll be back for you. Trust us.
With that said, Nickelodeon, if you ever want to give me a job, I will. Yes, I'll happily wear a shackle around my leg.
Yeah.
but I do agree with you. Like the working environments could be better, to say the very least. I
Yes.
100% agree with you.
Okay, I'm gonna read some comments still because
Sure,
I've been mean to our one spam bot who still watches us.
That's okay. I'll happily look at this cranberry Sprite ad while you talk.
Okay, awesome. So Brayton, you play with your 6th Ghostbuster toy, man.
Okay. Well, who's the 6th Ghostbuster?
That would be. It's secretly Tobor, who's also the 8th man.
Okay.
I double as both.
That was kind of a terrible pun that needed to be done. Hold on, can you even hear that? It only works when I do that. Okay. Okay, so we have somebody named MST3K versus Gamera round 2, Detective Dirty McRib.
Yeah, I wrote that like an hour ago because
That's
I
you?
felt like if I didn't write that down, then I'm not going to remember.
Okay. Come on down to Detective Dirty McCruption's Crab Shack, where we got the Dirty McCruption rib. It's a rib sandwich made in my likeness. Open up the bread and eat my face.
Everyone needs a foul-natured ribbing.
There you go. I was like, where's your Chernobyl button for that one?
Yeah. No more puns. You must evacuate the area. The puns are overwhelming.
Oh my god! Imagine if like they weren't called mole people. What were the people called underground in Planet of the Apes? Were they mole people?
I think they were just called the mutants or the
The
bomb
mutants, right?
worshippers, Yeah.
Instead of bomb worshippers, they're worshiping your pun button. you may not like what you find. Is it full of puns? Because I like that.
If you think of it, James Franciscus is a pun version of Charlton Heston.
Raffenshoma's live stream, that beautiful planet of absolute lunacy, is now dead. Boom.
No one will care. So, that line of dialogue opens up so many questions. Like, okay, so aliens and God exists in the Planet of the Apes universe.
Dude, not only does God and like aliens exist, Ricardo Montalban exists in that universe, and he starts an unusual, not necessarily a
raise your monkey child.
not really. What would you call it? Not a race war, but like a like a.
Oh, it absolutely
Shoot.
is a race. It was intended to. I mean, that's the allegory.
It's an
there, that it's a race
allegorical.
car.
Well, I would call it more of an allegorical race war because if I call it an actual one, ugh.
Right, exactly. Then we dip into the fourth Ghostbuster territory. Again.
Yeah.
Guys, leave me alone, okay? I just forgot his name for a minute. Okay, let me read these comments from Shay.
Oh, my ribs.
Well, that would be less dramatic. At least seeing David Hedison's headed fly get eaten by a spider in the 1958 Fly, Superfly. And I've lost count how many times Ghostbusters. Oh, I've already read that. Then he goes on to say Ready Player One was supposed to be something like Who Framed Roger Rabbit for the current generation. It was not.
I like that. I just like how cynical that take is, though. That I will laugh at that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so mean, but it's too damn funny to not laugh at.
Yeah, you can say the same thing about Space Jam 2: A New Legacy and the Chippendales movie. Even though when I actually had fun with the Chippendales movie.
I like the Chippendales movie. I haven't found a reason to watch it again.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely really enjoyed watching it the first time around. Actually, I kind of want to see if it holds up now. It's been long enough. It's been a couple of years now, hasn't it? Like at least 2 years.
Yeah, it's been like 2 years. So
Yeah.
okay, and then he says Raph and Lewis are going to have their heads joined on one body, like Ray Milland and Rosie Greer in The Thing with Two Heads. Oh no, that's that's a movie idea that me and Brayton are going to do.
Man.
The Nerd with Two Heads.
Wow. Unfortunately that was one of the I think that was one of the last movies I wanted to get, because that was part of the Midnight Movie Collection, was it not, for the MGM films?
I think.
Or am I mistaken on that?
I think so. I have a lot of the MGM Midnight movies, and I think I have the first Thing with Two Heads, the not fun one.
Okay, maybe that's what I'm thinking about then.
Yeah.
That's not what do you remember what joined that one as a double feature? Because it was that one and some other bizarre film.
I don't know. It was AIP, that's for sure. They were making all sorts of stuff.
Well, yeah, like all of that library was AIP. Like I think that it was that one that I wanted, and the other one, which I think was like the most expensive one, because I think it was just out of print at one point, was the one that had Morons from Outer Space on it. I think was part of the double feature.
Oh my God, Morons from Outer Space! I think that was paired up with no, Strange Invaders was with. May I go to my massive collection of DVDs? And yeah. Okay. So I'll just read these comments and I'll let you guys have the show for a little while while Brayton, Brayton complains about me. Oh, great! Raph is going to do stupid stuff.
But Raph, you have so many DVDs.
I know, but they're on a shelf right now, so I can easily access them. I have a whole shelf dedicated to the MGM Midnight movies. But yeah, Kaiju Commander says.
Okay, what was the question? I'll look it up right now. What was the double feature with?
Fine.
What was paired with Morons from Outer Space, and what was paired with The Thing with Two Heads?
Okay.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, because otherwise,
go to my DVD collection and
because otherwise, this is what you would hear in the background. All right. Oh no! My DVDs are falling.
Oh no! I found the quicksand.
Raph and Shoma is now buried to time.
Then it's just the Buck Rogers theme song.
I'll read these comments at least while you look it up.
Okay, so Morons from Outer Space was paired with Alien from LA.
Oh my God! Really?
Yeah.
Well, too bad I'm not collecting DVDs anymore. I think I have both of those individually, but damn, that's so cool to have that on one.
You like Alien from LA?
Of course I do. It's a great movie.
Okay, true.
Well, if you don't like Alien from LA,
Yeah, dude, come on.
fine.
I am Overlord. I spin in my chair for no reason whatsoever.
Dude, you can have Barbarella. I'll happily take Alien from LA any day of the week.
Yeah. Okay, let me read these comments before we get into the Alien from LA hour-long chat.
And also, very quickly though, on the double feature with The Thing with Two Heads is the two-headed transplant.
Oh, okay, there you go.
No?
The incredible two-headed transplant. I'm sorry.
Man,
the operation has went incredibly well. Who has I chosen to be the second head on this body? What the hell?
see, but that's perfect.
Judy.
You watch Alien from LA, do your own weird little dirty thing you do, and then when you're all done, wallow in your own filth as you slowly go to sleep watching Morons from Outer Space. It's a freaking win, maybe.
It's the best 2 a.m. double feature you can have when you're sober and drunk. Okay, so Kaiju Command says, "Yo, anyone gone mad yet?" And Zai Zadra says, "We've all been mad." And the Kaiju Commander says, the Disney reboots are the worst, especially the live action reboots. Yeah, I have to admit, that's like creative bankruptcy right there.
Yeah.
Although with that said, I am a proponent that the Cruella movie wasn't half bad.
Oh,
Never
here we
saw it,
go
so I couldn't
again.
tell you.
Yeah. I gotta watch it again before I can defend it completely. So sorry, I'll leave that one in the slammer.
Brayton, did you not like that film? I take it.
It's indicative of everything I despise in life, and that's okay, Raph.
I know.
You-
Okay. We're gonna have
Again,
a
yeah.
like.
I just despise. I hate that you forsaken Glenn Close that way. She will be
Okay.
the only live action
Oh,
Cruella in
okay,
my
yeah.
heart
No.
forever and a
Okay.
day.
I could see that argument be made.
Here's
Even though
the-
I haven't seen it, I could see Brayton make that argument.
I
and
just
make it
refuse to
valid.
acknowledge any other Cruella de Vil. It's
No, that's
What is?
totally fair. That's like me and Chris Evans and with Reb Brown. There's only one Captain America in my head.
yeah.
Red
Gibson
Brown.
will always be the man.
Like my favorite Captain America movie in the Reb Brown movies when he goes, "Sorry, baby."
I will.
Chapoda!
We now drink the blood of a Triceratops. Yay!
Ah! Don't you like Captain America?
Man. Oh my god, I'm so old I
Captain
can't sing
America's
the Yours
world.
theme song anymore. So, Yor will return to the mainland to film Captain America. Will he succeed?
The old people on this beach are my friends. Is that the Red Brown version?
Yes, that was.
Yeah.
Oh, just traveling around America
Dude,
dressed up in
you're
a
gonna-
wacky spandex.
You don't like it when Captain America punches Christopher Lee in the stomach and drinks his blood, and he's like, "Drink the blood of your enemy for courage."
Billy, no, we were gonna go. Christopher Lee, we were gonna go to Disneyland. Come get me, Rep Brown. I used to be in Danger Diabolica.
Raph, you get to own my signed copy of Your Hunter from the Future.
From Rep Brown?
Yes.
Oh my god! I already have a copy of Your Hunter of the Future, but I'm gonna put that in a frame. I love Rep Brown and Your Hunter from the Future.
It's the same reason, and that was during a time when like Spoonie wasn't insane. That I was like, because no, this was a time when like Reb Brown was like, this was, you know what's funny? I met Reb Brown during the time when Spoonie was doing like I think with the first and last February. I don't know if you remember that at all when he was doing that.
Yeah, I barely remember that, but I know what you're talking about.
But I went to Wizard World that year. I must have been doing a table or something, and he was there. And I was like, do you know this person? Even know Aunt Wiley? He's like, no. And I tried to put in contact with him, but at that point, I think Spoonie was just like spiraling. That I don't think anything came to fruition. But I'd like to believe, to everybody that can hear me, I'd like to believe that I was that potential link of getting Spoonie and Reb Brown together at one point. If it would have happened, I think I was the closest one to do it.
Right.
And during that time when I met Reb Brown, he was doing a film in Italy that I don't think ever like saw the light of day here, but it's a shame because it was like he just disappeared after that, and he reappeared when Captain America, the first Avenger, just came out because he was a Captain America. They were getting all the Captain Americas at that one point to just give blurbs about their thoughts of like the new film being made. And I was like, holy shit, he's still around. And I think now more than ever, because of the legacy that Marvel has built, people know Reb Brown now, like because again, that Captain America thing more than anything now. So kudos to Reb Brown finding some footing. Like if he ever were to die, he will be fondly remembered on someone's Instagram feed, that like shits out constant Marvel images and facts. Like when he dies, he will be remembered as Captain America.
Yeah, I think he's kind of enjoying semi-retirement with his wife. So I think he's
I'm looking at a photograph of him dressed in the original Captain America costume, signing autographs right now.
Oh yeah, that was the thing he was doing. So he's still doing that then, right?
This is recent.
Yeah, you're saying that with some level of sadness and regret, Brayton.
he's surrounded by like what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different Captain America mannequins at this table, and it kind of gives off an odd seance type of this photograph.
I would, if I were to ever make a cartoon, I don't know what he would do, but he would have to voice something. That man just has a voice to himself like that. It's just he's too damn cool. He just can't. He can't. I get like this with certain like I don't even want to call him a B-list actor, but yeah, I guess he is that. But he's just too damn cool. I don't know. He's part of MST3K legacy. He's part of the Channel Awesome legacy. Like he was a good part of my decade. Like of like just watching random things. Like it's hard to not think about that. Yeah, he's mine. He's mine. Yeah, I don't know. Red Brown's just awesome. Like I can gush over that dude like all day. Clearly, if it wasn't obvious already.
Listen, Lewis, it's not my damn fault that this podcast has suddenly become about me. Forget about it.
I missile drop kick you as I glide into with a pterodactyl into your house.
No, a night beast, a giant species of bat.
Yeah, that's right. I thought it was a pterodactyl. I'm so sorry. See, I'm not a true fan. This is why you deserve my DVD.
No, I'm just a pandemic nerd.
Actually, it technically is a giant bat named the Night Beast. It's not a pterodactyl, despite what Roger Ebert said in one of his drunken rages.
Anyway, back to the film.
Indeed. Let's read some comments.
Okay, so let's see.
But anyway, go on.
Yes. I've been in Madhouse since the start. Kaiju Commander says Goji Shay. There's a Thing with Two Heads movie. Yes, Kaiju Commander. Oh. That's an actual movie.
Thing with Two Heads movie. There's more than one.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's right. So Raph's gonna try very hard to forget you praised the live-action Gorilla movie. Sorry, I'm just tired of movies that redeem the villains who work best as villains and likewise turn good guys into crappy bad guys. I can totally understand where you're coming from. Like that's how I felt about the Maleficent movie. But the thing with Cruella de Vil is she has been so consistently good as a villain that when they decided to do a version of her being good, it didn't feel like, oh, we've done this a billion times. Like all the evil versions of Superman that we're getting kind of sick and tired of. But again, I gotta watch. I was going to say, I would love to do an extended podcast where we just talk about the 101 Dalmatian movies, period. I will gladly watch the two Glenn Close ones.
Oh, they're great.
I don't mind.
They're unironically great.
Yes, I will happily.
She gets baked into a cake for your entertainment, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, no, I'm not
woman's
gonna.
a thespian.
I'm not gonna like pretend like joke around. No, seriously, like those two movies. Growing up and as an adult, they're very fun to watch. They're good noise. They're good. They're good. They're good noise if you're doing something. They're good background. Background audio and visual if you're having a Christmas party or anything. But overall, they're just enjoyable films. Above all, they're the trifecta. A good film does all that. A good film is not just watchable; it's good noise, and it's a good centerpiece for when you have company over.
Yeah, and it's Glenn Close, so it can't be bad. So
yeah, that's why I'm saying you turn around a lot for moments to go like, oh shit. But again, when you just watch it by yourself, you're like, damn, this is a really good movie. Like, it's a really good movie.
Yeah. It's like it also gives me an excuse to revisit the original 101 Dalmatians that I remember was being really good when I revisited that.
Also fun.
I've heard surprisingly good things about the sequel. No, the straight-to-video sequel, 100 and More Dalmatians.
Never seen it, but I will say this, absolutely fucking love the cartoon. If you want to talk about a slight deviation of the character Cruella de Vil, that's good. The cartoon, because she's still a villain, but it's more of a foily kind of villain, kind of like a well, in this situation, Cruella's trying to do this thing, gets fucked over by some other thing, but it's hilarious.
Okay.
It was never not. It was always entertaining for me to watch. Definitely would like to rewatch it again to see if it still holds up. The Dalmatians themselves, because I think it was you only showcased 4, or I think it was it was 3,
which would make the animation a lot easier to do.
Well, no, they would always show a ton of them running around, but it centered around Lucky, Cadpig, Rolly, and I think a chicken. That was the honorary Dalmatian named Spot. And it was all 4 of them, and it took place on the farm. Half of the time, it was Cruella's trying to make coats out of them, or Cruella's trying to do this other thing to fuck over the family. But again, the dogs always usurp Cruella in some hilarious way. And then you have the other two, the 2 bumbling henchmen. And then every now and then you have the cat and the dog that make their occasional appearance as well. Again, it was a really good show. It was a really good show. Out of all the Disney spin-off shows that they had that were way later into to the dying end of their cycle,
Mhm.
101 Dalmatians easily I could say was one of the better ones that they had
Yeah,
coming
but
out.
no,
later-
no, we could
later
do
on.
like a 2-part podcast on the 101 Dalmatian franchise alone. So
Yeah.
yeah, and then I can finally gather my thoughts why I actually like Cruella, and you guys can throw tomatoes at me.
I haven't seen it, so I can't even opinionate on it. I've
Mhm.
heard mixed stories as far as like people liking it, people not liking it. There's I guess what I'll call the Brayton category, where it's like, there's only the one. There's the Highlander of Cruellas, where it's like anything else is just pure blasphemy.
Mhm.
And then there's the other camp that's like, it's an interesting tale, and because I like this character, I like the film. So it's like, okay, so there's clearly like, I mean, there's bias on both sides clearly, but like there's a different bias here where it's like I like whatever this character is involved in, and it's
Yeah,
like, okay,
yeah.
well,
Yeah.
that doesn't help me, but I guess I might take a crack at this to see what the big hubbub is about.
Yeah, so the big joke about Cruella de Vil, though, I like to share with everybody, is like it's so interesting that she's considered one of the great villains of Disney history, but when you really think about it, she's very low tier as far as power and importance go. It's like because she's just
Maybe we can stop giving those characters over elaborate, overproduced, garish origin stories, though. I'd be very glad to never see another origin story for an intellectual property as long
Ever.
as I live.
I agree with you.
That fundamentally misunderstands again the character and the source material.
Yeah. Well,
Emma
and
Stone's a
she's-
fine actress. She's very committed, but
yeah,
she's
like
just
you
a mean
don't.
lady.
Like you don't need. Can you imagine if somebody did the fucking origin story to Snidely Whiplash? Like, just like, why would you need that?
no one cares.
No
That's
one
the thing.
cares. Like, yeah, I agree with you. Like, no one in their right. Like, I don't even think fucking what's his face who created that character, fucking Edward Horton or
Well,
whoever.
there goes
it
my
was.
idea for a script. Damn it.
Like,
Yeah, you can do the Feathers McGraw origin story. Wrap that penguin from the Wallace and Gromit shorts.
He's coming back.
He's returning, he's coming back.
Yeah, are they
Everything's
making
coming up Feather McGraw.
I'm so
that's
excited.
what it's gonna be called.
Yeah.
Everything's coming up Feather McGraw.
Yeah. No.
The Cruella movie. It's so desperately wanted to be a punk rock Devil Wears Prada. I think when it's just again a fundamental misunderstanding of a character who works better as sort of a mysterious. You don't know what adventures, you don't know what corners of the world she's been on.
Yeah.
I like characters with a little. You have to fill in your own blanks with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
also,
I agree with you.
Yeah, and I will agree with you that I think we're living in a day and age where there's just way too many origin stories, period. It's like
Yes.
there's a recent online term that people use when describing like wasted potential in streaming shows. It's not Count Dracula, it's Surf Dracula. He only becomes Count Dracula in the last 5 minutes of his TV series. Until then he's Surf Dracula.
No, yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, and it does get boring. Can we just have adventures with these characters? Does almost every superhero movie made in the last 30 years have been the origin story, and then maybe something neat happens at the end? Maybe.
Well, the unfortunate reality is because when everything that hasn't been made in the eyes of corporatism is the untapped market. It's like, for example, DC used to have Vertigo, right?
Yeah.
Vertigo is where you go to make the darker, sadder, twisted versions of whatever the fuck it is that you want to make, I guess, of the DC universe. Or better yet, I'll use a better example. Marvel had the Max universe. The Max universe is where you took characters to be, dark and bizarre and gritty and whatnot. That's where you took the Punisher to be, an embodiment of an angel. It's where you took Howard the Duck to be like a raunchy cartoon character. It's where you took, it's where you took characters to be this, Cruella type of a character, to make this type of arc. And again, it does it do well? I personally can't say because I haven't watched it again, but that's what it is for corporatism. It's like, look at Lorcana. Lorcana now is making like all the characters are now in a fantasy universe, and now they're doing their own little weird thing. Sometimes it hits, sometimes it doesn't. Like with Lorcana, for example, or even Kingdom Hearts. Look at how Kingdom Hearts works with the Disney characters. I personally not a fan of Kingdom Hearts. I don't hate it per se, but it's like it just doesn't interest me.
Yeah.
At all. Lorcana interests me it interests me a little bit more, but not enough to like really like care about the lore necessarily. But it's almost like sometimes like it may be like I sound like a bootlicker saying this, but like sometimes like these unusual things I feel like have to happen because like it does open up opportunities for like somebody who does have a passion for this property or character to maybe one day go, I hated Cruella. Let's make something not like that. But because this door has opened, maybe we can do like a standalone, but make it more something to like something that we enjoyed about the Glenn Close film. Who knows? Because we haven't seen it yet. Might not, because maybe like, well, again, like Brayton said, it's just not necessary. Right. There is that potential answer to be had as well.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, now, okay. With that,
but again, that's my take though.
No, it's a good take.
Brayton, I still agree with you. Like in that,
like you guys were touching on earlier though too. I do miss I miss not being robbed of truly malevolent cartoonish Disney classic.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Who don't have to be redeemed. They don't need redeemable qualities. They're just evil. They fulfill a purpose.
Yeah, I agree. I very much agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Again, that's why I think like something like Cruella. That's why something like Cruella never interested me when it was announced, because I'm like, why? I'm like, okay. Like
it just feels more like corporate fan fiction than an actual movie.
No, it definitely, and I'm sure it definitely was. Somebody was like, we need to make this because you know what? I would not doubt if 101 Dalmatians had some weird, again, back to my anniversary theory. I would not be surprised if they had some bizarre anniversary and they're like, well, we're not going to make another dog fucking film.
Think of all the young teeny bopper girls. We're going to push all the Harley Quinn stuff straight out of Hot Topic. We're going to fill it with
Cruella shit.
Backpacks and booty shorts and all that.
No, I agree. 100%. Which again, it just sounds so fucking weird when you, especially when you say it like that, because that sounds more believable to me than anything on what they were capitalizing on.
Yeah. Okay. So with that said, so I'm not going to defend or share my thoughts about the Cruella movie, because I do want.
You can. You totally can. I don't want to. I don't want you to think I'm shitting on you. By the way.
No. I have my own opinion, but I'd rather save that for another time, because I do want to rewatch the movie one more time and put my thoughts together in its own little separate video.
Oh my god! Do a Cruella and Woman in the Dunes double feature, Raph. Those are the ones you have to go back to. Could you imagine?
Sure. Okay. Why not? But no, what you guys said makes perfect sense, because Cruella de Vil, when you think about it, and this is what I was trying to say earlier, and this ties to a joke I love to make all the time, is that when you think, like, she's a very popular character, she's very well beloved, and I can understand she had a lot of style, she was very memorable, the voice actress alone was fantastic, but mixed with that design and the animation was even better.
Yeah,
but when you think about it, she's so low tier as far as power scaling and a villain goes. Like it's sort of like how everybody loves Lex Luthor, everybody loves Joker, but if Darkseid showed up, he would easily kill both of them easily.
Oh yeah, of course.
And of course, the big joke about Cruella de Vil is that she's always being teamed up in all these like major crossovers. But when you think about it, she has no right to be there. It's like, think of it like this.
I see what you're saying. It's like Maxwell Lord like appearing like alongside Darkseid, which I think has happened a couple of times in the Disney
No, I can understand Maxwell Lord is a good toady for the bigger villains, but no, me with Cruella, it's something like this. It's like, ladies and gentlemen, I, the Lord of Time, who controls time with his mind, has brought together the three greatest villains who ever lived to serve me. Lord Conqueror, who has conquered thousands of planets with his mighty magic sword. Mistress Murderess, who has murdered 1 billion life forms throughout time. And last but not least, David, a shoplifter from Walmart.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like, you pretty much go to like Titan. Well, why the fuck are you here?
Yeah. It's a similar joke that me and Jesse used to have with the early 2000s movie. These 8 Ultra Brothers. Their lineup of returning kaiju was impressive until you get to Gisora, who's whose only claim to fame was that he was a giant lizard who liked eating cocoa beans. It's like, behold, I have gathered the 4 greatest kaiju in Ultraman history. Pandon, a 2-headed fire breather who killed Ultra 7. Goldrush, a monster who can control time. Silvergon, a monster who killed Ultraman Digger and can destroy force fields with his fists. And Gusara, he likes cocoa.
No, I totally get where you're coming from for sure. Again, that's why. Well, you know what? It's funny you say that because that's part of why I never really. I mean, that's honestly why I kind of made fun of Kingdom Hearts for so long. Because I'm like, right? Because it's like, okay, well, half of these characters aren't that threatening, but okay. I mean, it's really it just comes off as a cash grab for people that are fans of Disney. But again, it's what people like, and I don't really like shitting on fandoms that much, or who am I to shit on anyone's fucking? I just literally fawned over fucking Red Brown. Like I'm easily one you can make fun of. So it's like I'm not one to make fun of you.
Yeah,
like what you like, But again, by my standards, I agree with you though. It's like it's just kind of bizarre. Like why are you here?
Yeah, but no, the whole thing with Corella's popularity, that's definitely mostly marketing and corporatism. Like, she was such a beloved character that they keep bringing her back over and over again. Granted, it's not as bad as what they constantly do with the Joker. I think we're finally getting to the point where it's like, oh, the Joker's here, yeah, whatever.
Well, yeah, because I mean, we've seen an oversaturation of that character. I mean, think about it like this. I'm calling it now. I mean, Cruella's gone through the ringer. Maleficent's gone through the ringer. Who's to say that Yzma's not next? She's anonymous and she's
not alone.
No, well, but if you think about it though, she's a diverse cast villain. She's one of the few diverse cast villains that the Disney universe has. Second of all, she's part of a beloved film, which is the Emperor's New Groove. That's more like the later generations, kind of like baby's Disney film kind of thing, right? But in third, she's untapped as far as a villainess goes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think with the internet being how it is now, and just like the constant, allowance of pictures and cosplays and whatnot, like you see more Yzma now, everywhere you go. And that influences other people to go, I think I could take a crack at that. And that will then influence Disney to go, why don't we make an Yzma origin fucking story where it's like unironic? Well, again, I mean, probably not with Cruella. Probably, I'm pretty sure Cruella didn't do well. But if it did do well, or let's say it does, I don't know.
It's a live action Disney remake. It did better than it should have. Unfortunately.
Well, there you go. Who's to say that movie's not planned this somewhere? Like.
Take a crack at me, Kronk.
Right, and who's to say that Pat and look, it's probably gonna be
take a Kronk at you. Yeah,
it's gonna be so bad that they're gonna be like Patrick Warburton was not, with like his old right wing views and stuff, like Patrick Warburton was not requested to come back. It's okay, they don't want me. I'll just go to the Blaze instead, or some shit like that. But no, I mean, but again, who's to say that that's not being planned? And then we're gonna roll our eyes and be like, "Well, that's gonna happen." When's this coming out? Christmas? Oh yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I'm still shocked. We're getting a live action Lilo and Stitch, and that was mine. Really,
dude?
Are we that desperate?
We're getting. Oh, are we that desperate? We're getting a live action prequel Mufasa movie. What do you mean? Are we that desperate? Like, of course we're that desperate. We're Disney. We'll fucking make a movie out of anything. Remember that one guy that sneezed in The Incredibles? We're making a movie out of that guy now next. Dude, I'm calling it right now.
A Star Wars movie.
Like, Disney's truly desperate when they finally say we're going to make live action Incredibles the film.
I hope not.
Because that's going to be so polarizing to hear. You step aside, Star Wars. There's a new polarizing property in town that will divide so many people. The sequel divided so many people that a live action version. Who's going to direct it? Are the Russos going to be involved? Why are they not involved? Like, who is the writer? Why is Kevin Feige involved? Why is Kevin Feige not involved? This is a superhero movie. Are they going to add Marvel cameos? Why are the Marvel cameos not involved?
Where's Condor Man?
Oh yeah, where's Condor Man? Kurt Russell's in it. Do they acknowledge Condor Man? Does he? Is he Peter Quill's dad or not? You know what I mean? Like, why are the Moody Blues playing in this? Like, what's with all the Steely Dan references?
They brought back the Maytag repairman for this movie.
ELO gets snubbed out of the soundtrack. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, there's gonna be so much controversy behind that thing. You could just call me pop culture Nostradamus because I'm calling it right now.
and it's so weird. You know, it's so just a little side tangent. It's so weird that Nostradamus was never burned to the stake. It's like, do you think people just didn't take him seriously back then as a supernatural threat, or do you think it was because he was a man?
Probably both. I mean, he you know what? Rasputin got mutilated and murdered so Nostradamus couldn't just spout nonsense. Well, I don't want to get castrated like that guy, so I'm going to come off as insane immediately.
Yeah. Also, Nostradamus made his predictions so ridiculously vague. I think nobody really took him. Nobody could understand what the hell he was saying. So.
Yeah, I would probably chop it up with that too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think he was whispering in any czar's ear or any emperor's ear that I'm familiar with. But I'm not too versed in the world of I'm not too versed in the Nostradamus verse. Like, I don't know what cameo character he spills into what film or whatever. So,
oh my god,
I don't know what David Zaslav has planned for him. So, couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you. I don't know what Looney Tunes character he's going to be cosplaying as in the Warner store.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, give us your ideas for the Nostradamus movie. Okay, I got a lot of comments from Kaiju Commander. Apparently, he's really pissed off about Corella. Okay, I'm going to try to read these as quickly as possible.
You were doing comments. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. No, it's okay. Hard. Yeah, that's one of the things we don't do well on this show. Okay, let's see what we got here. Kaiju Commander says, "Sorry, I'm just tired of movies that redeem the villain who work best as villains and likewise turn the good guys into crappy." Oh, we read that.
Right, and I do agree with that because again, it's not done very well as you point out. It's done poorly almost all the time.
Yeah, I'm glad we're at a point where everyone's getting sick and tired of evil Superman. That's been like everybody and their grandmother has done evil Superman. So.
Yeah, I'm tired of Jesus Superman. I'm tired of Superman's an asshole. I mean, that was funny for like one film, and even then. Not really. Like it was okay as a gag at best.
Was that the movie in the 80s, Death Trap, right?
No. Jesus.
You said Death Trap and my ears perked up. What?
I can't believe I walked into that.
Yeah. No, we were talking about asshole Superman. It was only funny once in the 80s, and I mentioned Death Trap.
Oh, okay.
And I walked into that like a fool. Damn you.
I'm sorry. I need to be paying attention. I'm reading my Walt Disney Corporation employee handbook here. It's called Corporate Risk Management and Postmodern Irreverence. I wonder what that means.
Do tell.
Brayton, do you think you'd be an excellent Isma?
Yes.
Yeah.
How upset would you?
That's the unfortunate thing, though. If Eartha Kitt is gone, Yzma needs to be gone because I get settled and I grow attached to portrayals of certain characters, and when it's a character specifically who was designed to be portrayed by a performer, that grows even stronger.
Well, then can I ask? Have you? Though I haven't seen it, but I would love to hear your take on the concept of it being already made. What was, if you have any opinion at all, really, but what was your opinion, if you've seen it or not or heard of it, when Chadwick Boseman was announced at the time to play James Brown?
What?
Yeah. Oh, you didn't know that? He played. Yeah. So like well before, like this was like right before Black Panther. This might have been either a year or two before, but this is when like nobody knew who the fuck he was yet. And he did Get On Up. And that was like, and I wanted to see that really bad because I'm like, well, first of all, this is James Brown you're gonna do, so you can't just get any like that. Because the reason I bring that up is because you're right. Eartha Kitt is a voice. James Brown is a voice, or should I say was a voice. There were both voices, and as well as people, but
Yeah.
they're their voices. That's hard to replicate, right? So when I heard that Chadwick Boseman was going to be James Brown, I was like, I gotta fucking see this, because this is going to be either really fucking funny or really fucking good. It's gonna go too fucking, it's kind of like I'll even throw this one out. Ray, I saw Ray. I loved Ray.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm impressed that Jamie Foxx could even. But again, Jamie Foxx being the comedian that he is, being an impressionist that he is, yeah, no shit, that was gonna be good. He's good at that.
Mhm.
I think about that time when when Marlon Wayans was about to be Richard Pryor in the biopic, and it never happened. That would have been interesting to see. Eddie Murphy, same thing. He was optioned at one point for the Richard Pryor biopic. That would have been an interesting thing to see too. But yeah, I mean, it would be really interesting to see, for whatever reason, Hollywood want to make an Eartha Kitt movie. I mean, she had she had some controversies in her life.
Oh, yeah,
not that she's caused, but that were caused to her, I should say.
Oh yeah, no. She got I'm glad she got rediscovered and got a career renaissance in the second part of her life. But yeah, she got screwed over just because she didn't behave at a tea party for a bunch of whiteys in the White House. It's like, come on, that was unfair.
And not only that, but I mean, she just had like an awful upbringing too, if I remember correctly.
Yes,
So
that
it's like,
too.
so she, not many celebrities can go through the ringer of family and celebritydom and say, I am alive and not dead, and I'm still making money, and I'm not poor. You know what I mean? Like,
and I'm hanging out with Ernest P. Worrell, bastard.
You know what I mean? Yeah, like, I'm killing trolls with this guy.
Yeah.
Like, not many people could survive that ring during that, especially during her time, being who she was.
Yeah, nobody remembers President Johnson. Everyone remembers Eartha Kitt. Good on her.
Oh my god, that needs to be on a shirt. Nobody remembers President Johnson in the front. Everybody remembers Eartha Kitt. That's on the back. But you know what I mean? Like, you think of tragedies like Elvis. You think of tragedies like oh god, why am I forgetting her name? To help me out here, the fucking Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz. Jesus
Judy freaking Garland.
There you go.
Judy.
And honestly, like, it's funny because, like, I recently discovered those audio tapes at first. I'm dying to hear, like, the entirety of those tapes.
Yeah.
Those tapes are fucking like, I've just heard snippets. They're crazy. How much she fucking feared planes and shit. Like, God's in the sky. Why would you want to go up there? And I'm just like, because do you know the story behind that?
No,
Like,
this is the first time I've heard it.
Okay, so Judy Garland, like, at some point when she was like so destitute, in order to make money, I think she was recording just like her biography, and I think she was just so pilled out and drunk at this point that she was just rambling, talking boatloads of shit about her fucking, like, her love life, just like her children, like everything you can think of that she fucking had like ire with, she just let it fucking all out. And I forgot, like, what happened to those tapes. Like, I don't know if I don't know if it's just that they never got published, or they did.
They all got shrunk into a file and put in the 20 minutes of Nixon's tapes.
They spill over into. Oh no,
Judy, what are you doing here?
Oh no. Well, I don't want to get too colorful because those Nixon tapes aren't friendly either. But they're not.
Those goddamn monkskins, they're always making me look bad.
Oh no. Can you imagine? You go from hearing, like, a woman just talk about how destitute she is to that. It's like
I know a lot of those tapes served as a story basis for, or inspiration behind, the Renee Zellweger movie.
Right, and how did you see that movie, by the way?
Yeah.
How was it?
I didn't think it was that bad. As far as I mean, when you get into that, the whole biopic issue as a whole, I think that's a whole nother tier to me of just sort of paint by numbers filmmaking.
How tragic was it?
So that woman, yeah, her
No, I mean,
life from the beginning was
yeah, Garland's life. No, I know Garland's life, so that's why I'm curious. Like, how tragic is that film? Like, how much do they really lean into, like, what's going on?
It's the later story, and it definitely does lean into the drugs and alcohol thing, the downward spiral. But
yeah, 'Cause that
No,
one-
yeah, her tapes though. You listen to those, it sounds not too far off from the L. Ron Hubbard, Scientology tapes. She
Oh,
could have
no.
accidentally started a religion.
I think
I was up in the asteroid belt and
and he keeps talking about spices, and I'm like, they're over there on the shelf. Just grab them, Elron, and take off that stupid hat. You're not on a boat. And why are you holding that child's hand?
I'm the new captain of the Sea Org. Ding, ding, ding went the trolley.
Oh no.
You people will write anything stupid about science fiction.
Agnew.
Yes,
I don't know about you two.
I
but you're
want you,
really-
didn't.
I don't know about you two, but you're really bumming me out.
Raph, we really need to do watch Secret Honor on the movie Graveyard Shift as well, which is the one-man show Robert Altman, Richard Nixon film, where it's him recording his not his confession, but what turns into a confession about Watergate. Philip Baker Hall plays Richard Nixon. It's the most inspiring, wonderful, like one person show basically on film.
Oh my goodness.
So you have to stick with it, but it is so entertaining. He says fuck about 500 times. He sings, he dances. It's a tour de force.
He's just like sunshine, lollipops, and
rainbows
everywhere. And I get that special feeling.
It turns into an MGM Judy Garland musical. in the
Yeah.
sound.
Ready to dance, Judy?
Ah, yes, come my way. Luck be a lady tonight, indeed.
I am sorry, Kaiju Commander. I don't think we're gonna be able to read the rest of your comments.
Your comments will never be read.
Okay, let me try to read it. Let me try to read a couple.
Please, I'm gonna mute myself.
Okay, all right. So yeah, I can't read all
I
of
see a
them.
comment that says I agree with Brayton and I'm erect already. Why are we gonna skip over that?
Kaiju Commander says, I agree with Brayton that some characters can't or shouldn't be recasted. I can't imagine anyone alive today replacing Darren McGavin as Carl Kojak, for example.
Darren McGavin as Kolchak is absolutely wonderful. I think Alan Tudyk might be able to do it if they're going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I could never see anybody. And there was talk of the guy, I don't know what's his name. He was in Zodiac and he's the Incredible Hulk. Mark Ruffalo. There was talk forever about him. There was talk forever about him playing Columbo, which I shudder to even imagine anybody else but Peter Falk playing Columbo because he is Columbo forever and a day.
Plus, we already had the spiritual successor to Columbo, and that was Monk.
And I love Natasha Lyonne in Poker Face, which is a Peacock series, a limited series. They're having a second season, I believe, this coming year.
Do you recommend it? I love Natasha. Lyonne. Have had no time to watch.
Phenomenal. You don't need to start at the beginning because they're all kind of the beginning, the first episode and the end episode are really the only ones that coordinate together.
Okay.
But they're the exact same thing. They're bite-sized, old-fashioned throwback, like not whodunits, but how Ketchums, where it's like we see the murder in the first 15 minutes and it's her bumbling, through an investigation.
And it was Hal Ketchum the whole time.
You see,
It was Hal Needham.
Hal Needham too, yeah.
yeah, it's like when you see Carl Weathers in like those old what was it in what was Carl Weathers in an episode of? He was
in Canon, wasn't he?
I think he was in Canon. Yeah, he was in an episode of Canon. You're like, he's the one that killed somebody.
Exactly
clearly.
right. He's the only person here with any star cachet. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha then. Okay, definitely.
Okay, but so
All
before
right, back to me being muted. Sorry.
Yes,
There I go.
yes. Kaiju Manager says, Raph, you nailed my elegant voice perfectly.
Was that that voice?
No,
that you did?
when I was like, I'm talking like this.
Oh yes,
Yes.
Mr. American.
Yes. Brayton on screen, how does what's his Faye look? So far?
Faye, little putty cat. She is looking wonderful and marvelous. Let me see. Hold on, I have to full screen the image here.
Okay.
Yeah, she's looking good to me.
Okay, awesome. I'm gonna try to do the
She's such a
whiskers.
gorgeous kitty.
Yeah. So yeah, no, she's come out okay. I think she'll work out a lot better colored wise. Although I could also make the eyes even ridiculously big, like those like terrifying oil paint children. from the
I
60s.
know. I tried to draw her with as large eyes because really they are saucers. The only thing I would even say is maybe a thing to like clean up is just like her cheeks a little bit because she has a short hair. She kind of has just a smooth face.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
no, she's looking great.
Yes. And also, are you okay with the background? Let me get rid of the cat images.
I kind of like it if it would be a little more pink and maybe tone down the stars.
Yes. Okay. Let
Just a
me
smidge, so
let
it
me see what
blends
I
a
can
little
do.
better, you
Yeah.
know.
Let me do the pink at least. I'll leave the stars for now, though.
Stars.
Oh, is the Loch Ness monster joining us? What was that? Okay, but yeah, the stars are their own separate layers. So that's no big
Okay,
deal.
we can play around with things off recording.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so okay, but I'm gonna take a little break from Faye. It's a she, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. She's my boyfriend's cat. She's a wonderful creature of the cosmos.
Mm-hmm.
One of those cats who are definitely. We were having a conversation about her when I asked you to help me with this. She's definitely a canine in spirit. She has
Aw.
dog tendencies of wanting to be outside, wanting to run and jump and skip and scrape her knee and all the things.
I know. So yeah, she's probably Burmese because we have at least one cat right now. Agent Whiskers, who is a Burmese, and he's very sociable and all that. So, God, and then we got two Maine Coons who are idiots. Like Lewis loves Maine Coon cats, but you said it perfectly. They're like the mentally handicapped Conan the Barbarians of the cat world.
It's the way they're bred, unfortunately. Like they're it's like imagine like okay, like a mackerel cat is pretty much like the Neanderthal of cats, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now if that's like if that's like the caveman of cats, like yeah, then Maine Coon is like the Conan the Barbarian of cats, essentially. It's bigger. It's just a bigger version of this little thing over here.
Mm-hmm.
They have the same small brain and everything. They're just bigger.
Yeah. Oh, Brayton, I put the stars on overlay, and they're a lot more subtle. How does that look?
I like that better.
Okay,
yeah.
then
where it's more. How do you describe it? I just like this sort of more globular look you have there.
Yes. Yeah.
Ethereal.
Yeah.
I don't
Faye
know.
is fighting the 1980s version of the Blob. Okay, but no, I'm gonna go get myself.
He's been consumed by the Blob. Oh no.
No, she'll fight back. She'll save the lives of the sheriff and the lady. What was her name? The fourth Ghostbuster.
Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah, okay, sure. Yeah, she's the ninth Ghostbuster. I don't know. Yeah, no, I'm gonna go get a drink. You guys go and take over the show and talk.
You want to know some fun fact before you go?
Yeah.
Whenever I hear somebody say comeuppets, I think immediately of Cum Muppets, which makes me think of Meet the Feebles, which makes me very sad.
Meet the Feebles is a surprisingly disturbing movie, all things considering.
It's a good movie though. Well, I don't know. I like it, but I'm weird.
Yeah, that poor.
I like puppets doing it. There, I said it. Good night, everybody.
Let my puppets come. Nixon, you support this movie? I go to the theater all the time.
Oh yes, at the Bijou.
Okay, so I'm gonna get a drink. You guys go ahead and talk about whatever horrible things happen. So I'll be back.
Go for it.
Okay.
Nixon's got to be the most lampooned president at this point. Well, I mean, people have made a lot of leeway with the Trump impressions, but I think just over time, he has to have been either the most characterized, just in political cartoons, impressions, film performances. He's got to still be like the gold mine, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, if you look at if you deconstruct it, it's not just the voice. If you look at like his political legacy alone, just like his foibles, it's without getting too deeply political on his own legacy, just like his running alone, right, was foibly enough. Like if you look at it on the surface with his whole flop sweat, if you just look at it with his whole arrogance, like that contributes to him coming off as a joke. The voice comes off as a joke. Watergate, then he layers onto him. He's like Sideshow Bob, and like his whole political legacy is just one giant rake after another one. If it's the rake is the rake being the flop sweat again, him thinking like he's gonna make it, and then on top of that Watergate, and then if you really want to dive into the other things, just like with the whole China thing and everything else, it's just the dude is just that. He's just that guy. You know what? I think with media becoming what it was during that time too.
Right, you can actually examine him a lot close and build a psychological profile just by watching the guy. You can sense all of the you know, the insecurity masked by the aggressive.
Yes, exactly. Because like, imagine if like we had TV during like Herbert Hoover's time. You don't think
Sure.
that guy would have been fucking roasted?
Or Woodrow Wilson, for God's
Or-
sake. If you
or-
want to go
or-
way back.
That's what I'm saying. Like, because even then, like, I think even Teddy Roosevelt, while maybe not have been roasted necessarily, I mean, because definitely, like,
He's
if you-
benefited from being mythologized, though.
Oh,
Theodore
absolutely.
Roosevelt, everybody sort of building upon the legend that is.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And again, like he's not perfect either. If you look at stuff involving the Spanish War, at the very least, but that's my point. And that's with the limited media that we had back then. How much he was mythologized during that time, while he was still alive. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, Nixon is just one of those dudes that like he's mythologized, but not for the reasons that I think he would like to be mythologized. Unfortunately,
Exactly right. Yeah. When I go to the Nixon, where is he from? Where's the Nixon Museum? I've never been to a presidential museum. Maybe a first stop for me.
I think I want to say we have a Nixon library in California, but that doesn't sound right.
Okay.
I don't. Wait, do we? I think we. No, that doesn't sound right at all. Maybe the Reagan Library is in California, but I don't. But that's because he was like a Hollywood guy. But I don't think the Nixon Library is necessarily in California. But I could be wrong. But I know he has a library because BoJack Horseman did a whole episode on that. But I don't know. I don't know where where it resides necessarily. But yeah, like his dog Checkers again, like.
Creating, I mean, you know, he did create the APA while also being fundamentally anti-environmental. He's just one layer upon another. He's an interesting case study.
Yeah, he really is. Like again, like you can hate him for moving jobs to China, or you can like having cheap Chinese things. Again, you take it for what you want. You can. He's just like I don't know how to say it like without making it sound like I'm praising him because I'm definitely not. You know what I mean? Like
he's complex. That's why you know you can take you know the minute good things with the bad. There are multiple layers to sort of delve into there rather than just you know a flat out clown.
Yeah, I mean, I forget what other thing that he did do that I was like, okay, you're responsible for that. That's kind of bizarre. That
didn't he end? I could have my timeline mixed up. And didn't he end the draft during Vietnam? Didn't he put an end to
either he did
contribute to that?
Either he contributed to that. I'm gonna say yes to that, but I think he contributed to a social program.
Social welfare programs, I think, was his. Yeah.
I think that was him. And then I go like, really? You're responsible? So again, you wouldn't think that would be that guy that did that. But it is though again. So yeah, he's a bizarre character to say the least. Like, and again, like the infamous what is it? It's him and Elvis, right? That's the picture, right?
Oh yeah, where Elvis was made a honorary Secret Service consultant or something to that degree.
Like this guy, you know what I mean? Like he's definitely like okay, like if Teddy Roosevelt's like a Silver Age, like a Golden Age superhero. You know, Richard Nixon's definitely the Silver Age. Richard Nixon's fighting cactus people from Mars, where like where Teddy Roosevelt was, you know, like fighting like Egyptian mummies for America. Like over here, Richard Nixon's like, I gotta save these Chinese people from.
If I remember going to put out a non-conformist stand-up comedy album, my absurdist title will be Richard Nixon is fighting cactus people from Mars. So
yeah. That you're welcome. That's his era. That will be that's gonna be his legacy. Like I don't know. Like I can honestly say like there's very few presidents that have had such a bizarre legacy. Like polarizing legacy, yes, which you can then say bizarre in itself. But Nixon's. Well, yeah, I guess his is polarizing and bizarre. I guess too. I guess
I think everybody's kind of I think everybody's kind of agreed and taken at this point in time the position that we have on Richard Nixon. Like he's just interesting. He was a remarkably great like political strategist, you know,
for sure.
Despite the social awkwardness in any type of outcome, and you know, he's a complicated sort of person.
Yeah, I mean, there's
the oh God, what's his name? The who was George Bush's vice president?
Oh,
Dick Cheney. Kind of a Dick Cheney-esque character in his day of being like this grumpy, awful curmudgeon, you know, on the surface.
Yeah,
having no media wherewithal or.
Well, You know what's funny? You say that, and then recently, Hats Off Entertainment did a whole thing on "That's My Bush," and they really do, and they do depict on that. I mean, I love that show. I can't believe
Wasn't
it was,
that the South Park people?
yeah, it was, and I can't believe it was only 8 episodes because I remember it being longer. But I was like also in my early like 20s when that show came out, so everything feels a lot longer when you start just having like day jobs and stuff, and you can't watch shows as meticulously as you once did, and like as a kid and as a teen. But that you bringing up the Cheney thing not only reminds me of That's My Bush, depicting Cheney as like the Palpatine like character, because that was a meme at one point. Like, oh yeah, which honestly wasn't that far fetched, really. But sorry, this is getting slightly political, everybody. But I don't care. It's revolving around pop culture, so you're gonna deal with it.
I tuned out the minute you started talking about Teddy Roosevelt. How dare you guys? It was history.
Teddy Roosevelt too. Something documented, which does put him in a place and of respectability. Is he got shot in the chest and then delivered a speech and then went to the hospital.
Look, I mean, I don't know how
Bigfoot shot him.
That's right.
AKA Grover Cleveland.
I'm Arthur C. Clarke. Was Clover Cleveland secretly a Sasquatch dressed up as a man?
The answer is no. Now leave.
Now leave me alone on my beach in Fiji.
But
come on, girls, let's dance. Let's dance.
Do.
Right,
Put on your red shoes and dance, club.
Arthur C. Clarke gets laid every day. Okay, keep going. I'm sorry.
I am the thin white Duke. How did you know? I must leave now.
He returns to his home planet.
Yeah. Both him and Poochie are the sovereigns.
Okay.
No.
Go on.
No, but to just cap this off real quick, on the Cheney thing, it's funny because like on another Comedy Central cartoon about George Bush, which was Little Bush, they also depict it's so loud.
Oh, I'm sorry, my peanuts.
What are you slurping?
No, I got a big can. I need to eat something. Hold on, I'm sorry. I'll mute myself again.
What are you, Trumpy? Just fucking just snorting up peanuts and shit.
I like peanuts.
That's a lot of nuts.
Okay. Well, this episode of Night Howling has been brought to you by Southern Grove Dry Roasted Peanuts, Honey Roasted.
Go grab some Japanese man ass.
Yes, sold at your local Japanese man ass grocery store.
You're turning your podcast into an episode of The Critic, where Orson Welles is just eating shit in between a commercial. Yes, there's a French fry.
I'm going to need another bib when we come back.
Oh yes, there's a French fry stuck in my beard.
It's
Save
even
for
better
later.
raw.
They're even better when you're dead.
Okay, I'm going to mute myself while I eat more peanuts. Go ahead and continue about the amazing conversation you're having about presidents and their complicated legacy.
No, but I was just going to bring up, it's funny because they make Dick Cheney as as just this like murdersome dude, like constantly. And if it wasn't him, it was always Karl Rove, which was vehemently worse in any form of media. Like Cheney was bad, but Karl Rove was like always depicted as worse. Again, if you look at it objectively, like I wouldn't disagree with it at all. Like political beliefs aside, like pop culture, I think nailed it when they depicted those two the way they were. Like they were definitely hungry to go fight anywhere that they could.
Oh, yeah. Uber hawkish neoconservatives. They were picking fights.
Yeah. Again, this is a term that Graham and these other guys love running with. So I'm not calling anyone anything out of line that isn't factually something that they use themselves, is what I'll say. But to bring it back to Nixon though, like he, and also like I gotta think, like during that decade, during that era, I mean, it's a polarizing time. You
And
have
his administration that defined modern political scandal at the time. That was the thing you
absolutely.
associate with it, and
Oh
permanently
yeah,
sort of altered just American trust in the government and its institutions in general.
absolutely. With the whole, I mean, with just the whole classification of drugs alone, I could just
Yeah.
isolate that one, and that one alone will just bring you a whole shift of a mental dynamic in America alone, right there. You
Yeah.
know, and again, TV's finally like cementing itself in not just being like this like luxury to have. It's becoming a commodity. Like everyone can have a TV now at this point. Like really anyone can scrape by and get even a shitty little one at this point in time. So yeah, like it's much easier to, again, this is what I mean with the internet. Like I would not doubt, I mean, we kind of see it at an accelerated rate, I guess, with Trump, but I wouldn't doubt later on you're going to see a shitload of Trump in fucking like media, like whether you like him or not, and he's going to be mocked up the ass. Like I would not doubt, if not as much as Nixon. Are you going to see Trump as a head in a jar? You're going to see Trump as like, again, you're just going to see it. You're going to see
Yeah.
I think you're going to see a fuckload of it.
You know what's even scarier? Whatever comes after Trump.
Yeah, there you go. There's that too. And I really dare not go, much like Dr. Zayas, I may not like what I find, so
I like what you've done here. You've sort of given Faye Benjamin Franklin spectacles here wrapped. They're
Oh
very
yeah, yeah. No, I'm just
stylish.
originally I was just gonna make her eyes bigger, but now, yeah.
Well, no, we can do that later.
Yeah,
Do the finessing later.
yeah.
Faye's
we'll
going to go
we'll
Faye's
do-
going to go into it. Faye's
Go
going to
on.
go into a tangent on how like the turkey should have been our national bird.
You know,
She's gonna
yeah,
she's gonna shit talk the eagle nonstop. Which, to be fair, the eagle is a shitty creature. It fucking like snatches food
Right.
from other.
It's a scavenger. It's
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's so bizarre to really like hear like that story on how Franklin was just like, why the fuck did you guys choose this fucking bird of all things? And again, if you want to look at it from a satirist perspective, it really bit us in the ass to really choose that bird
Mhm.
in the long run. So it's like,
Yeah.
syphilis aside, you were a pretty smart man, Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah, no, Benjamin Franklin ruled. It's like he was so cool.
He was the best president we ever had.
Wait
he
a
was getting
minute.
he didn't know he didn't. I was gonna say like he didn't know when to say no to a hooker.
And he only owned 2 slaves, and he let them go free fairly early. So
He's like, well, this is over. You guys can go now.
yeah.
Oh wow, not to say speaking of slaves, but you did remind me of something I just learned recently.
Okay.
So I know it's not a great segue at all.
Yeah,
but
sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen.
but it is an interesting fact. So recently, for the longest, I've been putting off reading autobiographies just because I suck at reading personally. And with the beauty of YouTube and audiobooks just being like rampantly everywhere now, I finally said, you know what? I'm going to sit down and listen to Alex Haley's Malcolm X book. And I'm so glad I did, because besides it just being a great story, and you finally get to hear the non-film version of the Spike Lee film, which honestly, like if you were to do like a bit like a tit for tat, like how close it is, I would say it's about like 80% like on. I don't think there's really much deviation from it. You definitely have to like add certain things to it because there's not much elaborative portions in the book, because Malcolm himself refuses to go into detail about certain people because he did not feel like, because they weren't good people in his opinion, they weren't worth giving much attention to from his perspective in the book. But that being said, I found out that one of the people that he ended up working with during his time as a porter, or not a porter, but working on the trains as a service person, which I guess is a porter. But anyway, semantics aside, he worked with Red Fox. He was among, so when he was in Detroit, he was one of the 3. I think he mentions his time in Detroit. At least if I remember, I think it was Detroit. So he was among the 3 redheaded Negroes, as he puts it, that were known in the Detroit area, and or either Detroit Red was Red Fox, but that was one that he knew during his time, like in his early late teens, early 20s. And I was like, I did know that and I forgot about it, but it felt like a new fact to me to hear that during that listening. So yeah, it's always, because again, it's almost like when you find out that, like, you know, MLK was like really into Star Trek, right? Like my first time hearing about that, I was like, what? Would never expected that, but that's pretty cool. Like, because again, it's history, and then like shit, I watch at 2 a.m. You know what I mean? You don't expect those. It's the chocolate and peanut butter of like facts that like you're just like, what the fuck, really? Like I never saw that coming. Because again, why? Who's pointing that out to you? First of all, nobody, right?
Yeah.
So you stumble upon that fact. You go, interesting. It would be like if you find out that Nixon was like, oh, I love GI Joe. You know, GI Joe.
Well, to bring it back to Nixon, the guy who was supposed to be watching the door at Watergate was watching on television an airing of Attack of the Puppet People, specifically, which I find amusing.
It is a compelling movie, all things considering, so I can understand. It was the 70s, so that thing was like brand new.
It's like, how did they make him that small?
He uses a giant camera and bends reality. That's very interesting.
And then Forrest Gump had to ruin the whole thing.
I was watching Puppet People, and people are across the
There's some
street.
people over there with flashlights.
It was either that or the ghost from Mr. Chicken, and I was like, you know what? I'm determined to watch this puppet film.
Back at the White House. Okay, checkers. This is the part where the mad scientist wants to commit a murder-suicide with his little friend. Ring, ring, ring. Hello, Big Potato. We're sunk.
Where have you been?
We're so screwed. Deep throat. It should have been deep fried. How you doing, Brighton?
Attaboy, Luther. Ghost of Mr. Chicken. Yeah.
Oh, the Ghost of Mr. Chicken reference. I got that one.
Have you seen the Ghost of Mr. Chicken?
No, but I know that joke. It's
Well,
like,
then how'd you get that one?
Luther.
Okay, yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Some off-screen man shouting that. I want to give a big shout out to all the great off-screen actors out there. They're just people who are looped in post that are just meant to dub over crowd sequences. You know, they're the real heroes of the film industry.
Rhoda's door man.
That's right.
Hey man,
hey, it's your door man.
I'm the first Ghostbuster on screen.
I'll give then I'd like to give an honorary voiceover to Tex Avery for constantly being the laughing guy in most of the early Looney Tunes shorts. You gotta love that. I love that laugh as a kid, and to only find out that that's Tex Avery, I'm like, no, this makes absolute sense.
Oh my God.
This man couldn't contain himself. That even in production, he's spilling over into things.
Yeah, what other animators did voice work in their cartoons?
Well, Walt was Mickey Mouse for like 20 years.
Yeah, the guy who runs the company. Of course, he's gonna pull up.
I'm voicing. Oh, it's like somebody we know voicing Jack Hodgson. I wonder.
Yeah, there you go. Like,
oh God,
I'm going to do it right.
No. The name of the actor who plays Jack Hodgson is Jonathan H. Hodgson, and he's a completely separate person from me.
That's what I hear.
Hogbottom.
Hogbottom. He's a Roald Dahl character.
There once was a voice actor / mad scientist who was a real scumbag. He had his eyes poked out by ravens. The end.
Now leave.
I hate children. I eat them up in my stew.
He was the real evil giant all along.
Well, I mean, I guess if that's the case, does Robert Schmeigel count?
Oh yeah, he voices almost every character ever. Okay.
He voices everything he's involved in.
Yeah, he writes very good comedy. For me to poop. Should I? No, I won't.
The poop?
No.
Usually, if you have to ask the question, you should.
Yeah.
The
right.
risk reward.
That's what
All right,
happened in
gentlemen.
Napoleon. That's how he lost in Waterloo.
Oh boy. Water poo.
Yeah.
Couldn't escape if I wanted to.
Well, you know, Lou is also what they used to call toilets back in the day. So.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
it comes full circle.
Nice.
All right, gentlemen. I have to use the restroom real quick. I will be right back.
Oh no. Okay, so I think Genghis Khan is a very underrated individual history. How you doing?
Sure
How
got
you doing,
around.
Brayton?
All right.
Okay. I think we found the winning combination of us three just being silly.
How much can the Earth take?
I know, it's been like almost 3 hours now. 9 people watching. Hey, 9 people. How you doing? 2 of those people are probably me. Okay, so I'm going to read the
There are
comments.
2 of you?
Yeah, because I'm
The
monitoring
Earth
us
people
on
must
the...
be
on-
astonished.
Yes. I wonder how long Kaiju Commander says, I wonder how long Hollywood studios keep doing this themselves. They either finally learn their lessons or waste the last of their resources. Sorry for the walls of text. I was listening to you guys all the way home from work and couldn't reply anything until now. I agree with Brayton that some characters... Okay, we read that part. Lewis, did you know Billy Zane is going to be Marlon Brando? Oh, yeah, we'll talk about that when he comes back.
It's gonna be Marlon Brando.
Mm-hmm. And now I'm going to dress up as the Phantom. I
Step
flew.
through the mirror.
Right. Nixon's back, baby. He cackles incoherently in his giant robot suit, says Kaiju Commander. I've only seen a few episodes of Cam.
I'm sorry. Every time I think of Nixon, I also have to go to the Black Dynamite ending. As well. Motherfucker! The most unhinged.
Yeah. I love the final scene where it's like Nixon's supposedly dead and his wife just, goes team Black Dynamite. So
Dynamite.
have you ever seen the Black Dynamite animated series?
No.
It's a mixed bag, but at the very least, you got to see the Michael Jackson episode. The Michael Jackson episode is amazing, just on its own.
That sounds horrifying.
I know it is. It is horrifying, but like they go in. Oh my god, I'm not gonna say anything, but there's like it's just like reference after joke after reference related to Michael Jackson. So
yeah.
Agreed. Only one Columbo. Don't need another. Don't improve upon perfection, says Kaiju Commander. Goji says, "Get out of here, Loch Ness Monster. None of us is giving you 350." Okay, then Kaiju Commander goes, Nixon at night. Nixon at night. I'll break into the houses and mess up the place. Laughs hysterically. Big Jack Film says, hello.
Laughs historically also works.
Because I am dead and historical.
It's fantastic. It's amazing to me how long he lived, though.
How long did he live?
Long
Sock
time.
it to me.
Into the 90s, I think.
Oh, 1990s?
What other 90s would there be?
Okay. I can't wait to see that Armageddon movie. Oh, I'm dead. Oh.
Yeah, died April 22nd, 1994.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Born 1913.
Yeah. I really think this Power Ranger thing is going to go somewhere. I can't wait to see the movie they just announced. Haru. I can't do that impression without my headphones falling off. I have to shake my head when I do that. Oh, Brayton, add the Ghost of Mr. Chicken to a future movie graveyard ship watch list. I think Raph would love it.
We're gonna do that on the 100% Weird one day.
Yeah, but we're having a bit of an argument, a disagreement. He wants to do the
Quarrel.
Ghost of Mr. Chicken with the Love God. I want to
The
do the
Love
Ghost...
God, which is the greatest
Penis.
Don Knotts movie. It's the most amazing thing.
Mm-hmm. And I want to do it a double feature of the Ghost of Mr. Chicken and Blackbeard's Ghost. So we're kind of having a little disagreement there.
Find another Peter Ustinov pirate movie.
No, well, there's got to be like another funny ghost movie we could. Oh, wait a minute. What about the one with Abbott and Costello, where they basically play ghosts?
The Time of Their Lives.
The Time of Their Lives mixed with Blackbeard's Ghost. That might be a good double feature.
Problem solved.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
Or Topper. Have you ever seen Topper, the Cary Grant similar thing?
No, not at all. So I didn't even know that was a ghost story.
It is.
A ghost story for Christmas.
A little ghost story for you, my love. Yeah,
my
it's based
bad.
with the band spray. I think there it may be debated by Tim Burton and company, but it starts out exactly like Beetlejuice. Cary Grant and I forget the actress's name. They're a couple and they die in a car accident,
Mm-hmm.
and they haven't done enough good deeds to move on to the next life. So they're ghosts and they're stuck in this house, and
Okay.
the same basic setup.
That might be good. All right. Nixon died before George Lucas wrote the prequels on November 1st, 1994. Okay.
Nixon lived long enough to possibly see Ed Wood, though.
Mm-hmm. I like this Johnny Depp. I hope he doesn't do anything controversial.
I love to dress in women's clothing.
Yeah, okay, no more of that. That's causing my headphones to fall off my head. Okay.
It's causing your head to fall off.
Yes. All right, I'm going to stop doing work on the cat tonight. I'm going to move on to something else. So, oh, wait. Meow! Don't leave me.
Send me this, though. I would like images for a progress thing.
Oh, yeah, I definitely will. But for now, I shall save it.
She's a pretty baby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm getting so good at digital inking, it's ridiculous. Granted, though, it's a fairly simplistic character. It's not like a bunch of details.
I just drew a cat. The cat, granted. She's a very complicated personality.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
You gotta get those you gotta get the long white whiskers and eyebrows in there too.
Oh yeah, no, that'll definitely be a different layer. Yeah, no, she's the cat that gave us the EPA, so
that's right.
Mm-hmm.
She's responsible for every good deed.
So I'll just go to this horrific.
Oh, for God's sake!
What? You know this was gonna happen. It's an Inshoma show. There's gonna be giant robot booms.
There's already big enough boobs here as it is without.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I'm not. This is fan art for somebody in December. Gift art.
PU.
Yeah, but no. This is what I was asking you. It is a questionable design. It's an opera robot, so. Anyways, enjoy, ladies and gentlemen. Wait a minute. Oh, God, we're probably going back to like 8 people now. 2 of those are
Scare them away.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
How are 2 of them you?
Huh?
How are 2 of them you?
I'm watching it on my main TV. I'm watching it on the computer to make sure everything's going okay.
Are you that self-absorbed?
No, I'm the Moltar in this. I'm in charge of everything.
God help us all.
Space Ghost. Brayton is angry. What should we do? I don't know.
Was I supposed to answer as Space Ghost?
Yeah.
Oh.
Space Ghost.
Quiet, trash bag head.
It's the first time you ever shot.
God, I hate these guys. I'm gonna follow this ant. That's my favorite thing of him following the bug, it's an ant back home.
Mm-hmm. So, what are you doing, Space Ghost? I'm gonna follow.
Kill his whole family.
And when it's like the uncut version. It's like a good 10 minutes of him just following this little ant, and then and then it's a giant monster ant. It's like, your son's an idiot.
Yeah.
Oh God, I agree with some of the people in the comments. Yeah, I do miss Space Ghost, especially since it used to be filler material 100% weird. It will come back one way or another. But no, Brayton, you're doing very good.
After my month of quality has gone to the wind.
Yeah, I wonder what the first horrible double feature I will do. So,
well, thank you for Brayton for this month of consistency. Next time we're watching Ultraman and Yokai Monster Warfare.
Wow, you really did not like Yokai Monsters.
It just comes to mind first. I have no opinion.
Mm-hmm. No opinion whatsoever.
It's a wonderful title.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's Yokai Monster Spook Warfare is the entire title.
Oh yeah, that's one of the movies. So,
indeed.
So
Night of the Comet, though, coming soon, and Miracle Mile. I don't know what order they will be in, but they will be next.
Yes.
For Atomic Clock Shock Night.
Oh, that's a good title. I was gonna say one last night on Earth.
Something like that.
Yeah. But then it's like, yeah, I always pick the dumb ideas.
Pack your leg warmers. It's the 80s.
Mm-hmm. And the apocalypse, since we're going to nuclear winter mode.
Yeah. Well, actually, they take place during the summer.
Oh, okay. character colors. Thank God we're not dinosaurs.
I feel like that would make everyday life a tad more difficult if I was a dinosaur.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Little, 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 if I were a brontosaur, I would eat plants over here, eat plants over there. Do,
and you're
do.
doing this dance on the roof, but then the roof collapsed because you're a big fat brontosaur. Okay, so you're a brontosaur. What dinosaur would I be? I think I'd be a boring, big-butted iguana.
Boring, big, fat, dummy doo-doo dinosaur Rex.
That's a scientific name.
It's a new discovery of mine I found.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, there's that too. And when Lewis comes back, we'll ask him what dinosaur he wants to be.
I wish you could have interviewed a president and asked these hard-hitting questions.
Mr. Jimmy Carter, what dinosaur would you be? A peanut.
All right, hello.
Hey,
I heard peanut. Are you still eating those peanuts?
yes.
No, God.
No, Brayton, you explained it.
That was a great comedic time. Seldom do you hit him out of the park, Raph, but for me, that was like perfect comedic timing that you would have done.
Damn it, I missed it. Oh.
We're doing Raph is basically a David Frost like character interviewing politicians. Raph interviews Jimmy Carter after he asks Jimmy Carter, what kind of dinosaur would you be? And after a long pregnant pause, Jimmy Carter responds dejectedly, a peanut? And it was just something I don't know. You crack me up sometimes, Raph. You slay me.
Thank you. It's
You
nice
really
to know.
do.
It's nice to know all the stupid spitballs I throw on the wall do eventually give results.
Right? Yeah. One's got to stick.
Mm-hmm.
I would arguably say a lot of them stick, but yeah, one's pretty good too.
You are more forgiving of my glue characters than Brayton is.
Well, I really like stupid shit, so it's very hard. It's very. I mean, and no disrespect, like to your craft. What I mean by that is just like I love absurdity. I should say. Let me put it more eloquently. I like absurdity. I'm a big fan of it. It's very hard for me to go, this is absurd, and I don't like this. It's very rare, but I'm sure there's media out there or things out there where I go, this is bizarre even for me, right? But hasn't hit me yet, thankfully. So, and you're not one of them, so that's good. You still get to live.
Thank you. Hear that, Brayton? I'm still hip with the hip cats.
You still matter.
Yeah, but no, what is it? I don't know what the conversation. Oh yeah, we were talking about post-apocalyptic movies, and we said, thank goodness we're not dinosaurs because of nuclear winter. And then I asked Brayton what kind of dinosaur he'd be, and he'd say brontosaur. I think I'd be an unimpressive iguanodon or one of those Canartosaurs. You know, they look like giant, big-headed, devilish tyrannosaurs, but with like even worse little arms. What dinosaur would you be?
That's a good question. Like I'm kind of torn between a triceratops or a pterodactyl.
Well,
Because I like both.
Well, sadly, if we were to get all pandantic, if that's a real word,
You know, a pterodactyl is technically not a dinosaur. It's just
You're right. Yeah, that's right. It's
flying
not a
reptile.
but no,
It was included on my dinosaur animal cracker box, so it counts.
yeah, and the woolly mammoth is a dinosaur too because it's also on that box.
Yeah, as you can see, my 5-year-old is showing. No, then if that's the case, then I would. I guess I would give it to because a triceratops counts as a dinosaur, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, then I'd be a triceratops then.
Okay, because you'd have the 3 horns, and you can defend yourself against Raph the Carnosaur.
I just think they're neat. I just think they're cool. They're cool to draw.
Mm-hmm.
They're cool. They're always cool in media.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Land Before Time. I think Sarah was a great character.
Right.
The Triceratons are really cool in the Ninja Turtles. You know,
Mhm.
so there's. I mean, I don't know. They're just always depicted as assholes. So maybe that's another reason why I gravitate towards them.
You heard about all the recent fossil evidence and scientific conjecture
That tri-
that
that
Triceratops were.
Triceratops are assholes, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, that they were basically the warthogs of the prehistoric world, and they would.
Oh no, I was kidding. Were they really the assholes of their time?
Yeah, let's look at this ancient cave drawing of a Triceratops giving a dying caveman the finger.
It's like cutting. It's like cut me off, will you? Fuck your wheel. Crow Magnum, Crow kiss my ass.
Yes, and here's a fossil pit reconstruction of a Triceratops denying his workers coal for winter.
Oh yeah, that's right. What's his face? Sinclair's boss was like also a Trice who was voiced by Sherman Helmsley.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about that. So, but yeah,
Mr. Littlefield or whatever the fuck his name was. Like he had some weird, like classic American boss kind of name. Like, but yeah, he was also a Trice. Yeah, I guess they were all. You're right. Yeah, they were assholes. And okay.
Yeah, no, it's weird you should bring that up because, yeah, as a kid, I was always confused why the Triceratops was such a bastard. But no fossil evidence and scientific related theories have suggested that the Triceratops were basically giant warthogs of the dinosaur world, and that they would occasionally eat smaller animals alongside just being very territorial and nasty little things.
Yeah, that's. I mean, again, I just thought they were cool as a kid. I did not realize I would have such a familial bond with them as far as attitude goes. What's his name? Earl Sinclair's boss's name was BP Richfield, which is funny because BP oil. So that's a good one.
No, yeah, I get that. Okay, I get that joke now.
I mean, it's the same thing with Sinclair. It's based on the whole last name is based on Sinclair Oil, but I never noticed that his boss's name was BP. So that's really good. I like that.
Should I press the pun button for that or no?
I'll leave it to you. I mean, he's an asshole, so I don't think he deserves it.
Okay, yeah, no pun button.
He's the reason why they die in the last episode. What a dick.
Yeah, and he laughs about the whole way through. So
yeah, he did. He was a real prick. Fucking, I hate it. I did not like Mr. Richfield, though he was a Triceratops, because he was so mean.
Yeah,
he was so like polarizingly mean.
I know he
to
eats
Earl
like
Sinclair.
A small dinosaur in his first appearance alone.
Yeah, which again loans credence to what you're saying. So. I mean, the Henson company was definitely like trying to educate us through satire, as they always have been. So, I applaud them for that.
Rest in peace, Muppets Theater 3D in Disneyland or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Oh God, to get replaced by what? A shitty Bugs Life ride? I don't get it.
I don't even know what's there anymore. Is that what took over it?
No, it's gonna close down sometime this year. But no, they plan on replacing it with something IP related, whatever that may end up being. So,
well, I mean, what could you possibly replace it that's IP related that's 3D? Like, I guess
they're putting in a Monsters Inc. themed land there.
Oh God,
well, okay, well, I mean, at least it's Monster E. I mean, there's not much monstery shit.
There's only one true monster, and that's Miss Piggy, Waldorf, and the other guy.
Yeah,
Sadler, whatever his name is.
Statler.
Yeah. Listen, kid, there's only 3 monsters in history: Dracula, Blackula, and Son of Kong. Futurama joke there for you.
No, but I mean, like, yeah, I mean, I like Monsters Inc. I mean, I'm curious to see. So, what is it going to be like? Just like an interactive land? I guess it's not going to be a ride, right? It's just going to be like a whole interactive, like playing ground kind of thing.
That's
like Toontown, I guess.
That's what I understand. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. As long as it's not just a bunch of screens on a wall and you just shoot lasers at it like that Spider-Man crap. It's like
the Muppets are taking over the Rock and Roller Coaster, I suppose. Which is the Aerosmith ride.
Where is that at? They have
it's in the Disney World in the same Hollywood Studios. Section of that.
This is in Disney World. Okay, because I'm like, where the hell is that at in Disneyland? Okay, I forget that.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening on the Disneyland front. I don't know if it's.
Yeah, Disneyland's fairly okay. It doesn't have the Muppet ride though. I think that's only Disney World exclusive.
I see. For some reason, Floridians are just like more obsessed with Muppets than the West Coast people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was there a turf war? A coastal turf war ride?
I don't. I mean, it's because it's always been so bizarre to me. Like,
Ow.
oh no, they got you too.
They-
Florida man.
They replaced the Raft Tower of Terror with Guardians of the Universe. Okay, keep talking.
Did you ever like? Do either one of you like roller coasters or rides of that caliber?
I don't like roller coasters, but I like ride theming. So that's why I enjoy a lot of the Disney stuff because it is so okay, I'll be polite and say family friendly, but so tame in a lot of
Right.
circumstances.
Oh no,
I
I'm in
just
your
like
boat.
walking through the kiosks and enjoy the craftsmanship and the work that goes into a lot of those more so than I like the thrills and everything.
Right, you're more of an Imagineering person.
Exactly. I just don't like to go upside down too. Is a big thing,
Oh, no,
or
I'm-
twirl very fast, or move at all very fast ever. So if I can avoid that, I'm good.
No, I'm in your boat. I'm not a big roller coaster guy. They make me sick, and I'm terrified of heights. So
Yeah.
like stuff
Yeah.
like the Incredicoaster. Well, as cool as people describe it, you're never catching me inside that fucking thing. Like I'm never gonna go in it. But hey, I mean, I'm sure somebody's uploaded all those clips to YouTube. Same thing for the Simpsons ride. I know people say that it's a fairly tame interactive ride, but it's still a roller coaster, so I refuse to get on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like those kind of things. Like I accidentally did the Jurassic Park ride once as a kid, and I was like, I really thought it was going to be something like an Imagineering kind of Disneyland kind of ride, and I was sorely mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Because like it drops, like it's pretty much their version of Splash Mountain. So I'm like, again, a ride I absolutely hate.
Right.
Can't stand that ride because of that stupid drop. But yeah, like as you're
And
riding,
Tiana's Bayou 2 bites too.
And there's only there's racist dinosaurs instead of racist things.
what did you say? That is our word. Only we can use
Oh,
it.
please, Mr. Triceratops, don't drop me in that briar patch.
Ladies and gentlemen, apologies for the future. Okay, another title for this episode: The Racist Dinosaur Show.
It's like, was the hair and the lips necessary for that Velociraptor? I mean,
This is extra mile too far.
I know the Fantasia segment. Like, low.
Segregation Saurus.
I'll leave it at that for mine. But yeah,
Mhm.
no, like that ride was just
Why
terrifying
did
though.
you-
Like,
Sorry about that. I was gonna make another joke. Why did you call a pterodactyl Jim Crow?
oh no.
I'm sorry, ladies.
I've never seen a Triceratops fly.
Okay.
But does one of them have a straw hat that's like torn at the top, going through its head?
Probably. Okay, so what we're talking about, roller coasters? Yes, roller coasters are terrible.
Yeah, they're not fun. The giant T-Rex comes out and you do a hideous drop at the end. I did not like it.
Yeah, no, it's nice to know. Yeah, because I tried doing roller coasters, but you're right. It's like I have a fear of heights. They make me sick. And apparently a lot of roller coasters in recent years just give people a lot of neck cramps.
Yeah, because
So-
like you're like whipping back and forth. I'm just like, no, thank you.
Yeah, exactly. So no,
No.
it's nice to know that all three of us can't stand roller coasters. So
No, if I were to ever go to carnivals or fairs, I'm mainly going for two things: food and the occasional trying to win something just because I'm killing time being at the fair,
Mhm.
digesting the food. But as far as like, yeah, I want to go on hideous ride number 37 for 80 tickets. Yeah, I'm good, thanks. What? Give me all your spider rings and Dracula teeth. That's where I want to go.
Come to Six Flag. Come for our roller coasters that all look the same. Leave with Dracula teeth.
Yeah, like I'm more inclined to spend $40 throwing balls at clown teeth and winning, like again, spider rings and Dracula teeth. That'll be my highlight.
Let's take a clip. Oh, why did you hit me in my teeth, you son of a bitch?
I'm sorry, I thought you were part of the ride.
Just because I'm a clown doesn't mean you need to be mean to me.
And the worst part is he's not even wearing makeup. It's just me being really rude to people, just throwing balls at them. Stand still. I'm trying to win, damn it.
I'm just a man with a slightly big curly hair. Why would you do this to me?
It's like it's a group of people that are like trying to win. It's like, all right, everybody, it's like, all right, everybody, like let's do a head count for the Larry Fine fan club. They fundraised a lot of money to go to Six
Ow,
Flags.
why would you do that? Ow, why would you do
Oh,
that?
my
Ow, why
nose.
would you do
Oh,
that?
yeah. Why would you still leave me alone? You mean,
And then I get I get very mean and factually accurate, and I throw acid on all of their arms.
Oh, that's right.
Jesus, I'm so sorry that I went there.
That's okay. At least it's better than the dinosaur racist jokes.
Oh, I see the unit of measurement. Racial dinosaur jokes off the limit. Burning Jews, you're totally okay with them.
Oh my god. Okay,
I'm
to be
kidding.
if it's
I'm kidding, of course.
yeah, if it's not too harrowing of a story, how did Larry Fine get hit by acid? Is he okay? Well, other than the fact that he died years ago.
Well, I hate to break it to you, Rev. He's kind of sleeping under the ground.
He's not fine.
But I but I saw him okay on the TV. He was throwing pies like it was no big deal.
They just made a movie a couple of years ago.
Singly was showcasing his highlights. No. So what happened? To him was, I believe, I forget like if their family owned I forget what their family owned necessarily to involve like having over the counter acid like as part of the profession, but what happened was like acid accidentally like spilled over his arm, and it left him poorly. It left him really badly injured like during that time, and in order to rehabilitate his arm again is where he took up the violin, and that's where the violin gets later incorporated into the Three Stooges, is because of that injury. It leads to him. Yeah, I'm sorry, kind of. Well, yeah. I mean, I guess it's not really like a commonly well-known fact amongst the Stooges, but
No, this is the first time I've heard of it.
really, oh yeah. Like so
Also,
like,
the fact that they died many years ago, that was amazing too.
yeah. That Ted Healy, man. He was like, I'm determined to kill these guys. Well,
Yeah, is Lee Marvin alive? I hope so.
He's hanging out with them right now.
Yeah, it's like one of the dumbest jokes me and my brother.
Damn, that'd be a crossover for the century.
Yeah. Well, Ted Healy's dead. You now work for me, Lee Marvin.
I'm gonna turn you Stooges into an effective killing force.
Hey Mo, this guy's face looks like a corn cob.
You idiot. Ow!
Oh, just take the entirety of the last act of the Dirty Dozen and just replace it all with Three Stooges sound effects when people get shot.
I'll say it once and I'll say it again. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Oh my god.
the
Pandora's box of just anything.
the Nyucky Dozen.
Chef goes
No,
crazy.
no, it would be the Doity Dozen.
And yet Richard Jackal's still here. He was the third green slime man.
I thought you were gonna call him the fifth Ghostbuster, but no, but yeah.
Dustin makes me feel good.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah,
Slowly we turn.
Yeah, I don't know if the other two had harrowing stories like that. The only thing I can think of also that was like that's tragic besides like that is just towards the end when Curly had a stroke. Like apparently that like he didn't have just one stroke, he had multiple strokes like throughout like the end of his career, like throughout the end of like his life, unfortunately.
Yeah.
He had moments of rehabilitation, but like I think just also like all three of them kind of like being borderline destitute really didn't help like his health either towards the end. But yeah, like I mean, I don't know, that's the like just to get on that for a little bit. It's really interesting that like they've had, I think at this point they've had two biographies based on them. One, and I think only one of them really tackles a more like I think the Mel Gibson one doesn't. I think if I remember correctly, the Mel Gibson one doesn't necessarily tackle the accuracy as well as the other one that came after it. Because I think the Mel Gibson one is the first one to make the attempt.
And was
at
that the TV movie one?
I believe so. And there was another one that was made that was, I guess that one was a bit more accurate, where Gibson's kind of, for whatever reason, Gibson's version, like, really, like, it feels more like an Ed Wood kind of storytelling, but none of it comes off as funny, but it just comes off as exaggerated for no reason. Like they portray either Joe Besser or Joe Dorita as a fucking asshole in one of them, and he wasn't like that. Neither one was like that towards either one of the two Stooges during their tenure as a Stooge, and that's what a lot of Stooge fans had problems with that version, I think. And again, I could be wrong. Maybe the Mel Gibson version was the accurate version, but there was another one where it's just incredibly inaccurate. Like, just beyond, like, none of it fucking, like, lines up at all. And again, we're talking about Three Stooges.
Let's look at a clip from this inaccurate Three Stooges. This is the best milkshake I ever had.
No, but, like, seriously, like, it's like, again, like, I'm not too versed in Godzilla, but just imagine, like, you know an endearing in the endearing actors of the Godzilla legacy, right? Now imagine like somebody doing a biopic and just making them the polar opposite of that, and you're like, when the fuck did this guy ever say this to the Toho executive or whatever? You'd be so fucking flabbergasted as to like, why would you make a film this inaccurate? Like,
yeah, let's cut to a clip, and it's Anguirus on top of an office table. It's like, I'm gonna have sex with everyone in this room, starting with you, Toho executives.
Right, but imagine like, I don't know, like AG Tsuburaya just like punching a woman or something. Like, would you? And you're like, why is this in his biopic? Like, who thought this was necessary?
That would be his son.
I still want to write the Haru Nakajima bowling alley story movie.
Oh yeah, Lewis doesn't know about what happened to Haru Nakajima.
No, please elaborate me. Please give me insight.
Well, okay, Raph, I thought you had more knowledge than I do, but no, he had fulfilled his resources there, didn't they? Banish him to the bowling alley?
No, okay.
Yeah, I know. Okay, I only know I don't know the details of this. You mentioned this to me once, Raph, and I don't think you ever really went fully into detail about this. Where he was working in a bowling alley, correct?
Yeah. Okay. So
yeah, he couldn't get a job, or they didn't have a great retirement plan put in place, let's say, for him.
Yeah,
he was an independent like contractor for work for hire, right?
Yeah. During the 70s, that's what Toho basically did. They just kind of work for hire for everybody. In fact, Megalon is basically just a freelance job. But yeah, no, he decided to retire from playing monster actors because he was really bummed out with the way Toho was going in the late 70s. I think his last real Godzilla movie was Godzilla vs. Gigan, but I don't know if he went on to play an Ultraman monster or so. But no, yeah, apparently he ended up working at the Toho bowling alley after the fact. Although, to be fair, considering how Japanese companies like to drop their actors with great ease, maybe that was kind of a mercy on Toho's part. So, yeah, and then he did G-Fest conventions and went downhill from there.
Oh yeah, that's rock bottom.
So now imagine, like, again, I want to say Mel Gibson was the one that was trying to make the accurate one, but because again, this was so long ago. Where again, I anytime I'm going to be on this podcast, unfortunately or fortunately, you're always going to hear me bring up Hats Off Entertainment. He's such a great channel. I absolutely love that channel.
Oh no, we're fans of it too, right, Brady?
Oh, okay,
yeah.
So I mean, I absolutely love that channel, and I think it was him specifically that like showcased both of those films, because I remember watching the TV one, and I think that was the one that Mel Gibson tackled. But I don't remember if Mel's was the one that, like, because I forget, like, if it was like the highlight of one of them is that while one looks like visually accurate, the story is lacking. Where the other one, the story just makes no fucking sense at all, because it's like, it's just pulling stories out of your ass that don't even like line up with anything. It's just like, you know nothing about these characters. So now I just imagine like someone like AG Super, again, like, just like beating someone up, and it's like, but when did this happen? Like, why would you add such a non sequitur to or an irrelevant thing to a person's legacy like that? Like, what was the point? I don't understand. Right? And that is one of the Stooge movies is portrayed like that.
Yeah. Oh my god, I even know there was more than just one serious Stooge
I
movie.
again, and so was I was befuddled too until I stumbled upon Hats Off and I discovered there was another one, and I watched and I was like, holy shit, I did not know that this even existed. How did I not know? But here I am learning about such a thing.
And you learn too, ladies and gentlemen. So
So why don't you donate?
donate to my Patreon at www.1143324. I don't know. This joke's in. Speaking of running out of steam, we've been going almost 4 hours. Do you guys want to call it?
No, it has not been 4 fucking hours. You're lying.
No, it's 3 hours and 43 minutes.
That's still a lot. I did not realize we were going for that long.
I know. Time flies when you're insane.
Time flies when you're learning random Stooge and Godzilla facts.
Yeah. So yeah, the fact that anger has started dry humping everybody at Toho.
It burned Larry Fine's arm.
Man, someone get this armadillo.
Spidey Newman, no. So getting back to Larry Fine and the acid thing, I'm glad it wasn't a hate crime. It was just an accident over at their their family's pharmacy. It's like I forgot. It's sort of like when you find out the actress Cassandra Peterson, who played Elvira, actually has some scars from a boiling water accident she had as a kid. And it's funny too because she deliberately made her outfit to cover up the scars too, even when she was playing Elvira. So, but yeah. I'm glad they're both alive and okay. Especially Larry Fine.
Well, much like your goldfish, we're going to need to have a talk after this.
Brayton said Clark Gable went upstate to live with Ray Milland.
Oh, I think I told this last time, but let me tell it again if I haven't.
Okay.
Apparently, Bob Saget got to meet Larry Fine in the hospital during it's
America's Funniest Home Videos. Say something for the camera.
Bob Saget was Larry Fine's Make-A-Wish.
No, but it's an endearingly, it's a tragically, and it's like a bittersweet kind of story actually. So when Bob Saget was a kid, Larry Fine went to his school to talk about being being a celebrity and whatnot. Who the fuck knows why Larry Fine was there, but he was there. And Bob Saget was just, fan of the Stooges. He was so enamored that Larry Fine went that he told his I think he asked his mom if he can go visit him or something, because he managed to figure out what old home he was in. And I posted this on my Instagram when Bob Saget died not long ago. And I think I discovered this story either through Gilbert. I think Gilbert Gottfried brought up the story on Howard Stern at one point, or it had to be Gilbert Gottfried or somebody brought up. Oh no, it was either Norm Macdonald or Gilbert. Somebody brought up the story. Anyway,
point is alive, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're all thriving and being assholes somewhere right now.
Yes.
But
I'm so sorry. That joke's horrible.
No, but so he's I think he was I forget the age, but he's a kid though. And he's bringing all these Three Stooges tapes, and Larry Fine's just, again, he's just in shock that there's this kid who's a fan of him, because again, none of these guys died with, unfortunately, not a lot of them died with a lot of dignity in the end, right? They died destitute. They died, playing in malls, for fuck's sakes. You know what I mean? They didn't really have much to them in the end, which is unfortunate. But it is rather bittersweet that this would be, and that, according to Bob, was one of his key moments into knowing what he wanted to do, and that's be an entertainer, be a comedian. Because I think before that, he wanted to do something far irrelevant to being an entertainer, let alone a comedian. His heart was somewhere else. But then this Larry Fine moment, and again, and this is what I mean by bittersweet. It's here's a man whose legacy is to end up dying in an old home, gives influence to someone that becomes a big influence to all of us, not just with Full House, but with just America's Funniest Home Videos, and then just being easily one of the dirtiest fucking comedians that we've fucking had, that we've gotten to know, So, and I don't think that you can't really say what would have been because we only know the timeline we know now, and that's of this guy here who had to go destitute to influence someone else to become a rising star. It's just crazy to think about. So,
yep. So
bittersweet. I like to be twisted about it and then think that Bob Saget went to Larry Fine's place and he's like, look at these videos. And Larry Fine's just like, who are you? But I'm ruining an endearing moment by throwing it in there like that. But
right.
It could go both ways.
Yeah.
I think Bob would have liked my joke more than the other one.
Well, yeah, Bob Saget was a pretty wacky person.
That's what I'm saying. He's like, no, I like the one more where he makes fun of him for being a vegetable. It's like, okay, we'll go with that one then.
Okay, but seriously, question, ladies and gentlemen, do actually Brayton and Lewis, the audience, we don't read what you say. I'm sorry. You spam bots, each and every one of you. You're all loved and greatly appreciated. Do you want to end the night here, or do you want to keep going?
I personally am tired. You're catching me after working today. If I didn't work today, I would be more than happy to keep going. But I'm tired of feeding them. And today, personally, I without going into it, was not a very pleasant day. I'll tell you about it. I'll tell you both about it afterwards. It's more sad than anything, really. It's not really worth bringing up on.
Okay, okay. And Mr. Brayton, what do you have to say?
Wise move, Kimosabe. Put this out of its misery.
Yes. But I think otherwise, I think
3 hours is good.
Yes. Otherwise, I think we had a good episode. I drew a cat and I drew a big buxom opera robot named.
I drew a cat. You traced a cat.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, Ubai. Yeah, Ubai works. Get it right.
I'm Walt Disney. I made the freaking pussycat. Okay, so any last things you guys want to plug in while I try to find some music to play us out?
If I may, sorry for just rushing in here. Brayton, do you want to go first?
I have nothing to plug that I need to mention and make mentionable. Raph and I do our little shit show on Twitch every week. What's next? The Triplets of Belleville someday this week.
Mm-hmm.
And
probably good movie.
Probably Sunday, I think, and then Friday is our 100% weird day. So Black Friday will be end of the world night, and fun will be had by some.
Oh yeah, Black Friday, yeah, end of the world. So yeah, we will be doing Triplets of Belleville too. So
I'll be driving that night, thankfully.
Yeah, exactly. So all right. Hold on. Okay, might as well go with Liam Lynch. He's always reliable. So, yeah, I'll set this up. Hold on.
Okay. In the meantime, can I plug something real quick?
Yeah, by all means, plug away.
Okay. I don't know if anybody listens to this that's in the Bay Area, but if you are, I will be at Fan Expo that weekend. Not sure. Follow me on Instagram at Spaceboy Studios. To find out what table I will be at, as I'm sharing a table with 1010 Press. So if you guys find out the table info before I do, let me know. But otherwise, I will be there all weekend. So come by, say hi if you guys are in the area.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, but no. Lewis, you like I said last time, people were really excited to have you on. You've proven to be a major treat. I can't believe how energetic we get into these conversations. Maybe too much.
You guys make it that easy. I love talking to you guys. We talk about. You know what? I don't get this privilege, let alone honor, to talk about obscure things. Let alone entertainment as a whole. It's just usually me and whatever bowl of cereal I'm eating. So I'm going to be talking to that.
Hey, bowl of cereal, how you doing?
Hey, boxes, honey bunches of oats. Did you hear what this David Zaslav guy did? He's a real hoot, right? Knocks the cereal over. It's all over the floor.
Yeah, that was my impression of the cereal talking back. It's a Rice Krispies thing.
It's like, and then as I knock it over, the ants start eating it. Hey, colony of ants, have you seen what? But yeah, no, I mean it's a delight. I always enjoy coming onto this. I will always try to make time. That's why even after work, I'm like, fuck this. Normally I would have been like asleep right now, just trying to catch some sleep after a long day of work. But I was like, no, I'm gonna do this. This is better.
Yeah, no, thank you, Lewis. You definitely made the show great. Brayton, you are. I don't want to call you my co-host, but you're awesome nonetheless. So,
well, tell me something I don't know.
Well, he's the delight. You
have
could call him a
third
delightful
arm sticking
guest.
out of the back of your forehead.
I'm the permanent guest, is
Yeah.
what I am.
No,
Thank
don't
you.
say
More
that.
than co-host.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to get more new faces onto the show, but some people prefer to do pre-recorded podcasts over live broadcasts. Like, I can't do. Miguel doesn't want to come aboard, unfortunately. And yeah,
It's not easy. It's not easy. Sometimes I feel like I'm like you. I feel like you. I mean, honestly, I feel like you guys are carrying more of me than anything. But I'm happy if other people are happy at whatever comes out of my mouth. So there you go.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, and thank you everybody in the chat as well for joining us tonight. We're gonna end with a little 2-minute music video from Liam Lynch called "Burger and Chips" because I don't know why it feels. Oh wait, before we end this, so what's the title we're going for? Is it
Brayton.
how does potatoes work? What else did we come up?
Japanese man ass.
Japanese man ass. And it is
I think honestly, if you scrub to any random time point and pick out anything we say, it will work pretty darn well for.
Okay, so how does a potato work? I don't know. I'm leaning towards that, but I was going to say, is Larry Fine still alive?
Larry Fine, not fine.
Yeah. Oh.
Left behind.
Yeah.
That Larry Fine. I'm haikuing now. Stop me.
Oh no! Stop. Okay, so yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. I'll play this little 2-minute music video, and then we'll call it a night. So here we go.
Welcome to Crazy Mickey's. Can I take your order, please? Hello? You better get your pen. I won't say it again. I want a burger and chips. I want a burger and chips. I don't want no lip. I want it to get it split. I want a burger and chips. I want a burger and chips. I want a burger and chips. You gotta pick me in on every burger and chips. I want a burger and chips. Are fries okay? No! Don't make me come inside. I didn't say I want fries. I want a burger and chips. I want a burger and chips. I don't want no lip. I want it lickety split. I want a burger and chips. Okay, if you upgrade to a combo meal, you get a drink. So I don't know if you